Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the Left 4 Dead 2 community. My name is K3, and I am joined by the amazing Blake.
Hello, hello, hello.
And we are here to bring you and I'm actually quite excited. I took a look at the list of matches this week, and they're like, "Hey, K3, what game do you want to cast?" And I was like, "You know what? I want to cast Youngbloods versus Quickcleans." This is a team of players on both ends that have been around the Left 4 Dead community for quite a while now. And you look at the roster of Team Quickleans, and they've been consistently a top three seeded team for probably the last like 11 or 12 Left 4 Dead 2 tournaments, dating back to like the genesis of the game. So they're always a really fun team to watch, and so I was really excited to do that. And then you've got team players like Lucky Lock and Elusive on Team Youngbloods, and just a lot of players who've really proven themselves to be some really good quality entertainment. So I'm really looking forward to this match.
Absolutely. I know that when I first started getting into competitive Left 4 Dead 2, I would watch like a lot of like Left 4 Dead 2 like frag videos because I was one of those nerdy teenagers that's how I spent my time. It was great. It's a lot of fun. And Thug Life was like somebody that I watched so many of his, and when I would watch old matches, I'd see players like Josie and Lucky Lock, and so to like be casting their games now, that's a pretty cool thing for me. And so these are all very well-known players in this community. We know that they're good players. Like K3 said, they have consistently been a top-rated team for a long time, and so we know what to expect of them. And so I'm really, really excited to get to see this match play out. Obviously, I think this is what, like the seed 2 and seed 13?
Seed, yeah, I believe so. Sounds correct. Yeah, I remember being like an Xbox player in 2012, 2013, and then watching like a Thug Life frag vid, and like he skeeted a hunter and cut a smoker tongue in the same hit. What is this madness? Now, of course, that's like expected of you. Yeah, I'm also wondering because I was like, this guy was tagged up as Ikawaii Girl simp.exe, and now he's tagged up. There seems to be two gay kids. Um, he joined up and he was like, "Oh, okay, he's gay kid 1 2 3 4. He must be okay. He's BB Jam. Okay, I got it. Okay, awesome. So we are officially live here. Team Quickcleans out on the special infected side. On this will be a home and away game, I believe, judging by the pings. So I'm looking forward to being able to see both of these teams trying to put out some really great survivor play on their home servers. And we have an instant tank up now in the safe room, out in the hands of Yotsuba. I don't believe we have war rooms, if I'm correct. Okay, cool. So yeah, so we will be keeping it here. You get to hear our lovely voices for the entirety of this. Feel free to put your not like this into chat for not being able to hear war rooms. But yeah, so we have first tank of the game up in the hands of Yotsuba. I'm not sure what his usual tag is. It might just be Yotsuba, and I might just be not super knowledgeable about the European Left 4 Dead community. But Blake, what are you hoping to see from this tank?
With this tank, it's really, really, really difficult to get a lot with it, right? Like, this is a very open area. There aren't a ton of spawns. It's really easy to shift the tank no matter what way he comes in. He struggles to get a corner. So if I am quick clean right now, I'm really just looking for like maybe one down. And we do have our tank going in right now with a Charger Jockey Hunter. He is going in through the roof, hoping to drop down on the survivors. He does get that drop down, is on the railings, trying to get that punch on low. He's not able to get it, but he is now at 1500 HP. Support is now coming in. Jockey does look like gets M2'd and shut down. Hunter is going in trying to do something. Does land on Zoe. Charger goes for the same target though and misses. It looks like he is able to get one punch on Zoe, but other than that, that is a pretty good take by Team Youngbloods.
That's a very solid tank. When the tank dropped on top of Lucky Lock, it seemed like Lucky jumped off of that railing a little late. I thought that the tank was going to be able to get a really quick corner onto him, but the tank did not connect that. And then when it seemed like he had Lucky Lock cornered, he wasn't able to secure the down. And then the rest of the survivors did a good job at just shutting down the rest of the SI more or less. And that's a really good tank, in my opinion. We do have a hit coming in here. Jockey is going to get a nice jock away. That's quite a bit of damage onto Bill there. Smoker didn't really connect though, and with this Tri-Boom, there will be some Horde trickling in, but they might be able to run almost all the way into safe room, and it's going to be almost all the damage for the map unless they can get some last-ditch efforts.
Absolutely, and they are taking this very, very quickly. They know that the spawns are down. They know that this is a really short map, and right now, all that Quicklean has up is a Hunter, and that Hunter is going in now, but the Charger is able to get the spawn, does go in, but it's not able to really land anything. A Hunt does go down on BB Jam in the safe room. He does get a little bit of damage from that. Jockey is trying to get something, but just gets aggressively M2 to shut down with that. That is one more shutdown from Youngbloods, and they are going to be able to make the safe room with what seems to be a 480 bonus, and with that, I'd be pretty happy with this map. You can usually probably match that if I'm Quickclean, but, you know, on the home server, I'd take that.
Oh, totally. I mean, you look at the actual like score number, and like 780, that's not much, but when you consider that it's a 300-point distance map, and they got 73% of the maximum possible bonus for the entire map, like the actual maximum points you can get is like 900 points. So I'm pretty happy with that if I'm Team Youngblood. So nicely done for them. I also just say how proud I am of you, Blake, that you're able to do these super on the fly, super fast talking. Oh my God, Jockey's coming in. It's refreshing to have other people who are willing to take on those things. Because honestly, my throat starts to hurt after a while.
Oh, you have no idea how much water I drink. I learned it from the late and great talking like he's dead. He might as well be Rails Barlow. He taught me everything I know about casting, and I'm still bad at it. So, if you hate my casting, blame him. It's not.
Absolutely, we all blame Rails Barlow for one or two things in our lives.
Truly, I think I can mark everything back in my Left 4 Dead 2 career and why I'm still here to that man. So, Rails, if you're watching on Invisible on Steam, I hate. I also have gotten confirmation that Yotsuba goes by Young.
Okay, that rings more of a bell. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Rails, screw you for not freeing us from our Left 4 Dead 2 mortal coils. We were so ready to move on, and you just dragged us back in. Why would you do this?
He really did drag me back into this game. Then he was like, hey, we're going to do a team for the Quarantine Cup. And I was like, all right. And now here I am, too. Tragic. But speaking of this match, as we stated earlier, I do think like 780 bonus, or 780 points, excuse me, that's a pretty good bonus for this map. And I think Quicklean can definitely match it. And on your away server, it's not necessarily about winning the map. Really what you want to do is you just want to make sure that you get as many points as possible so that you don't have to make up as much of a deficit on your home server. So for Quicklean, it's really going to be just about managing and mitigating as much damage as possible and making those safe rooms. If you walk into your home server with a 2,000 point differential, that's difficult to come back from. But if you walk into it with a 500 point differential, that is a lot more manageable.
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, if you're going into your home server with anything less than, like a 1,200 point lead or 1,500 point lead, all of a sudden the team that's playing on their home on that just finished their away server is now the favorites. Yes, to answer Chinese guy in 1999, this is home and away. I just pulled up the chat on my mobile phone for ultimate casting experience.
Oh God, I forgot to do that. Thank you. I love talking to chat, even though I never get a chance to talk. I love you, chat. You're great. Behave yourselves. Be nice to Sir.
Well, the jury's still out on that one.
Hey, I like the chat.
The chat is, I've over the course of my Left 4 Dead 2 career, the chat's been there for me sometimes. The chat is stab me in the back sometimes. We looks like we have a bit of crash or lag out of some sort from Young. So we are currently waiting for Young to return. But yeah, no, definitely great survivor round. If they can keep up that pace and momentum for the entirety of their, like if they basically repeat that kind of performance for the rest of the maps, then they're going to, come out with probably about a 4,000 point campaign for the first 4 maps of Dead Air. and that will really put the pressure onto Team Quickleans. So Team Quickleans, based on seeding, definitely the favorite for this game, but absolutely nothing stopping from Team Youngbloods to just take this. Like I think that there's this kind of thing where if you're the lower seeded team going into a match, you're already at like a disadvantage playing. Like you're starting the game with a disadvantage, but it's just not true. I mean, if you just land your SI really well and you coordinate your survivor gameplay, you have as equal opportunity as the higher seeded team to just come out with the upset.
Absolutely. And the thing about Left 4 Dead 2 is, yes, just be better. The thing about Left 4 Dead 2, this is something that I always tell new players when they ask me questions about, like, how do I get into competitive Left 4 Dead 2? How do I get better? I'm not, like, mechanically the most amazing player. Like, I miss a lot of shots that I probably shouldn't miss. I miss M2s on jockeys all the time. You don't have to be, like, a Dusty or a Purple in terms of how well you can aim.
It helps.
It helps. But if you have the game sense and you have the chemistry with your team, you're going to do a lot better. And that's what makes so many of these teams so good, is that they've played together for a long time, they understand how each other work, and they're working together well. And with that, we are going live. We do have a Boomer Spitter Hunter Smoker for this first hit. I'm very curious to see how Infector are going to do this, as that tank does spawn quite quickly, and it looks like the SI are set up on the roof currently, possibly going to drop in on the survivors, maybe wait for the tank spawn. Looks like they are choosing to wait for the tank spawn. That's a call. I don't know if I agree with it, but
I think that they're looking for, like, when they're spawning the tank, a pull out into this corner with a boom or something like that. And they are going to go for that, but Josie really very quickly getting back inside. Hunter is going to go bot and die. Boomer's going to be in the worst position in this Boomer history and is going to get quickly disposed of. And we do have the tank up in the hands of BB Jam for Team Youngbloods. And now you can argue that your survivor side for home game is the most important. But if you don't play solid SI against a really coordinated team like Quickleans, they can just match your score every single time, and you can't let them accumulate too many points on their away server, because then it makes your home game just that much harder. And BB Jam saying, "I commit." I think that's a sign that he's going to be going in with this tank. He's maneuvering his way across the top of this roof, looking to drop in on top of the survivors, and the survivors doing a really good job of cutting away, but he does manage to land a punch on Zoe, but not quite the corner yet. Another punch goes on to Lewis. Actually does seem to land the corner onto Thug Life. That's probably going to be down. He is stuck in the ceiling, so that will be not... Okay, Zoe teleports away from the tank. That's kind of unfortunate, but he's able to really spread the damage. That's actually a really good job done by BB Jam to get a lot of punches out on survivors. His support didn't really quite land as much as he was hoping for, but that's basically an almost solo tank effort, getting basically 2 in caps. So nicely done by BB Jam.
absolutely. I mean, I think that Hunter landed for like a moment, but it was quickly cleared, and Tank really couldn't get anything off of that. So great job, BB Jam, getting that down on Yumi and basically getting him down on Thug Life. And it looks like there probably is just going to be maybe one more hit. They did get a nice boomer pop while walking through that hallway, and they do have a Spitter, Hunter, and Smoker in the rotation. I imagine that they're probably just hoping for a charger here from Lucky Lock, and he does get a jockey, so they are going to be setting this hit, and Hunter is going to go in, land on Francis just a bit. Smoker and jockey both go on Zoe, so a little bit of damage going on that. Francis does get pulled into the spit, but not for long. A very, very good shutdown by Quickclean.
Yeah, I appreciate the priest, but I don't think it was super necessary there, just because the spread wasn't quite ideal, because it wasn't directly on top of where the Hunter landed, but still pretty decent damage on that last hit. They will be having Team Youngbloods looks like they will be having hypothetically about a 100 or so point lead going into this next map, but they seem to be accumulating quite good damage on this last ditch effort here with that charger. But yeah, Team Quickleans walking into the safe room with a 320 bonus, and that will be a 160 point lead going into map 2. So, considering that this is Dead Air map 1, I'm not going to speak too much of it, but this is so far a really great effort by Quickleans on their away server to just keep it super close.
Absolutely. I mean, I've always likened Dead Air 1 to a map like Parish 1, where it's almost like a wash in terms of what happens. As long as you both make the safe room with like a respectable bonus, it's almost like the map didn't really happen. Just because it is so short, it's only 300 distance. You might get 2 or 3 SI hits in a tank, and that's it. Which that's really, really difficult to make a lot of points off of. But Quickclean did a good job of mitigating a lot of the damage. They didn't take the tank perfectly, but you don't necessarily have to on a map like Dead Air 1. And so coming into this Dead Air 2, I think it's going to be a lot more important for Quickclean to really clean up their play a little bit, make sure they don't take that much damage on the tank, and just do their best to match the bonus that Youngbloods are making.
Yeah, totally. I mean, most of this map being inside buildings, it was designed as a Left 4 Dead 1 map. So basically, this entire map with spitters and chargers, in effect, is just a giant long. So tons and tons of opportunity for the SI to do lots of damage. We were kind of jumping in there, didn't really get a whole lot, but there seems to be some friendly fire helping out the damage effort. So I believe that they were just stacking for a spitter for this ladder hit, and I think that's a pretty decent call if you're looking for just guaranteed damage.
Absolutely. I think this ladder hit is a lot safer, especially with the spitter, rather than just kind of throwing it on the SI. We do have that Hunter pouncing around right now, trying to make a little bit of distraction, taking a little bit of chip. We do have that charger and spitter set up in the room. Looks like that smoker is set up in the room as well, and we do have them pushing in. Charger is going to go and land a nice charge on Francis, is going to get spit on that. Hunter is going to go down loose. Francis is going to get pulled in the spit. That's going to be a lot of damage on elusive.
Yeah, that's a lot. Definitely a lot of damage. Like, typically charge spit landing by itself. And that used to be like guaranteed in cap, but this day and age is usually, like 20 to 30 damage. But with that amazing smoker assist, securing basically about 50% of elusive's health right there. And if you're still quite a ways away from finding a tank, that's exactly what you want if your team quickly. This tank can be, if you run into it with enough health, it can be quite easy to take. But if you run into it with not too much health, then it's very difficult to take. We have a death charge opportunity coming out here, and oh my god. Damn, Josie actually had an opportunity to get that. Actually, I saw, just the other day, I saw Adam get that exact charge in his stream. He just jumped onto the table and charged straight out the window. So very marginal miss there by Josie. Would have secured the death charge onto Gaykid, which would have been a massive, massive play. Quick joke. Okay, don't start with this. They're on their way servers. One charger. We won't call them quick choke just yet.
I'll call them quick choke because that's funny. We do have just some SI sacking themselves here on this pretty difficult area to hit in. A smoker is not going to do anything when all it has is one doorway to try to get something with. We do have that boomer going in, not able to get a boom though. Good job by Gaykid for backing up there and making sure that boomer gets popped. We do still have a spitter up and a jockey and a charger coming up in the rotation. They may choose to send this just without Say Young, just to maybe try to get a little bit of damage, but they may not as well. It looks like they are going to save for him and just let these survivors kind of kill some of this horde. They are currently not bleeding though, so they're no skin off their back.
I think they were waiting for either a hunter or a smoker to be able to get some kind of potential separation or quick initiation to allow the charger and spitters to get. If you have the spitter super free spawned up top, it's pathing to get a spit all the way into the back might be slightly difficult. The survivors are totally going to be looking for this pick onto the spitter, and it looks like they're currently waiting for maybe some horde to help out their effort, or they might just be waiting at this point, just saying, okay, we have such a good hit setup that we don't need to do anything too preemptive. And as I say preemptive, Lewis walking up the stairs, maybe when his team wasn't quite ready to support him, and amazing charge spit landing in that stairwell. And that's going to be a lot of damage out on to Gaykid. So nicely capitalized there by the SI. Super patient play. I mean, if you're playing the SI on your away server, that's what you want. Just, waiting for the survivors to go into the choke points, hitting where you want them to get attacked, and, not giving in to the pressure of the survivors waiting out the event like that.
Absolutely. Like, that area is so difficult to hit in. I don't blame them one bit for waiting to come up to that staircase, and they did, and they got damage for it. We do have the tank up, though, in the hands of Yumi, with a one boom going out on Lewis. It looks like the tank is just going to commit. Gaykid does pop his pills. Charger is going to go and get some punches and some charge on Francis. He's like one punch down. He does get a corner on Bill here. He's not able to get the down on Francis. He's turning around. Now he's going to turn around to Lewis. Does miss one punch on Lewis, though. Cole is going to go out on Zoe. He does get the corner on Lewis now. One more punch and he will be down. He does have 1,000 HP. Jockey is going in trying to help him out. He does get one more punch on Bill, but that is going to be a dead tank. I mean, that's pretty good damage.
That is pretty good damage. He only had 2 spawns up. With the lingering horde and the one boom, there was a lot of horde out there. So I say overall, that is pretty solid damage for that tank. So I don't mind as quickly as that tank got killed, and the fact that he only had 2 support for him on top of the one boom that weren't able to get too much. I don't mind the call at all to just commit with the one boom there with all that horde trailing in, because it's just pretty guaranteed to get at least an in cap. And now they have a good position where they can land a charge or hunt spit on this next hit, which is going in right now, and very nicely shut down there onto Thug Life by Gate Kid. He's getting that hunter. That's a very important kill, and very nicely cleared onto Elusive before he lands the slam onto them. So that's the kind of shutdowns that they need in these hallways if they're going to keep this all-important damage bonus, because one single spit hit onto the damage bonus and it just completely evaporates.
Absolutely. And right now, you know, Lucky Lock is pretty much their main form of health bonus, with Gay Kid and Elusive both carrying damage bonus. If I'm Quick Clean, I'm just not even going to send hits on DV Jam if it's possible, just because he's really not going to damage that bonus very much. But we do have this next hit going in. Hunter is going to land on Lucky Lock. Their main health bonus is going to go on that as well. Pretty good damage going out on Lucky Lock, about 20, I think. And then that spitter is going to get shut down. It looks like the Hunter and Jockey were shut, or Hunter and Smoker, excuse me. Jockey and Smoker. Good God, I'm still waking up, I guess.
Dude, I know. This happens when you're saying, you know, like 50 different SI every single minute, you know,
yeah.
you stumble over your words. You get over. But yeah, it looks like there's going to be one more hit before the safe room. Survivor's currently sitting at a 313 health bonus. But going into this last hit here, it's going to be a pretty solid setup. It looks like the SI are definitely going to be rocketing in from on top of these rooftops as the survivors are trailing into the safe room. Francis looking for the skin onto the Hunter, doesn't quite get it. That's going to be a charger landing onto Zoe. Not quite the slam, but the Jockey's just going to get pushed by, I think, 3 different survivors in M2, which is just, you know, something that every single Left 4 Dead 2 player can relate to. I'm going to be the devil's advocate. You know what, chat? I don't think Spirit would have wiped there. You know, I don't know. It's just a feeling. The survivor play from Team Youngbloods was, I think, solid enough. I don't think Spirit would have wiped. So, yeah. Nicely done by Team Youngbloods walking in with the health bonus that they did. Maybe not quite the bonus that they were hoping for, but pretty decent overall damage mitigation after that tank fight came in.
Yeah, I mean, they did take that down at the very end on Francis, and that knocked their bonus down well over 100. But, you know, it's tough to make this map, and that's not the easiest tank fight in the world, so I think it was taken pretty well. And literally, while I was respecting, that boomer got popped immediately by Josie. What a pop! That is going to leave a Hunter Smoker.
It's a tank selection. K3 will become tank. All right, boys, I'm ready for this.
Oh, K3 is the tank.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. We do have a Quickly moving incredibly quickly through this, and they get another boomer instead of a spitter. I know that Youngbloods are probably not happy with that. They do have the Smoker and the Hunter set up front, looking for something. Hunter is a little bit chipped, but nothing to really write home about. Charger is setting up in the back, though, and Quickcleans are taking this very patiently. They aren't going to rush into a hit. They know they have to.
Yeah, this is definitely something you like to see from survivors, especially on their waist side, is patience on the survivor, not walking into choke points when you don't need to. That's a really nice melt onto the Charger. Smoker gets pretty much nothing, and, you know, even though a couple of SI landed, if you're Team Quickcleans, I guess you could probably change the name to Quick Clears, because that's exactly what they did on that last hit, is, you know, it's not a big deal if things land if you're that quick on the instant clears. You're not going to accumulate much damage, so nicely done by them. They're going to be making their way into this bottom room down here. No intercept hit, really ready to take advantage of it, and this is a nice transition into the room. And SI are just going to throw a couple of SI at them. Well, I mean, I don't know what else they would throw at them.
I mean, I guess you could maybe, like, throw your computer at them. I don't know. Maybe grab a desk chair as a Hunter and just kind of eat it out.
You have, like, 5 broken laptops accumulated over my Left 4 Dead 2 career that I could definitely be throwing.
You get that angry during matches?
You could throw the game. That's something you can throw. That's something I'm very good at throwing. It's the game.
We saw your match last night.
Yeah.
My apologies, that's
Anyway,
my team.
nice boomer shutdown going down there. Nice skeet there by Stay Young onto Gay Kid, and very very nicely taken on this event so far. Still sitting at a lot of health. It looks like Lucky Luck is going to be saving his charger probably for the hallways as they are going to be coming out for this next one, and we do have a games, but yeah, I mean that's like you got 4 boomers in a row.
Oh my god.
Oh, I thought he was just making a general statement about the game. It's like, yeah, it's Left 4 Dead 2. We know it's bugged. Like, obviously at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think because you became the tank, they can't get a spitter.
That that makes no sense. Do I leave? I mean, I'm not a tank anymore. It says after I was a tank and it forced me to spec. Um, I it does now say that Lucky Luck will become the tank, but I mean, I guess I can't help but ruin the game even when I'm as a caster. I'm sorry, everyone.
It's all your fault, K3.
Clearly, I don't know. I just can't stop myself. It's just a bad habit, you know. I just ask Dawkins. This has always been happening.
And so this is Dawkins' fault then. Is that what you're saying? That he did this to you?
Yeah, basically.
He's your rail Sparlow for me. I can't believe this.
Caution says restart half. Okay, cool. That's pretty unfortunate if your team Quickcleans there because they have done an amazing job on this survivor side so far. To really take almost no damage leading up into this event. We do have Francis jumping off there. Nicely done by him, getting the instant kill on himself before the round ends.
Bill's going for it. Is he gonna get it? He got it.
He does get it very nicely. This is just picture perfect survivor suicide strats. That's what you like to see if you're in the middle of a vote. Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate for Team Quickleans. You know, that's something completely outside of their control. That's just me, really just attempting to rig the game, but everyone caught on clearly, and so, damn.
You knew what you were going for. They saw it.
Yeah, you know, I just knew that if I somehow finagled a way for the tank to try to become me, then there would be no spitter for the entirety of them. You know, it's just logical. That's just a 5-head move on my part. It just makes sense.
Absolutely. And you know what? I know you wanted to cast your own tank. I get it. I think you should have been able to, but you were robbed of that by these teams.
Man, I put like hundreds of hours into casting over the years into this game. I deserve to cast my own tank. You know, I think us casters, you know, we put in a lot of hours for, mind you, no pay, and you know, it's all I wanted was a bit of compensation.
Exactly. You know what?
Yeah,
I will. Yeah. Start saying you still get 60 bullets to tank. Looks like they are just gonna die. All shoot each other to death. Yeah. Get each other.
Yeah. Good job leaving the safe room, because if they did not leave the safe room, then the round would be bugged. So that, yeah, and then we'll just have to subtract 8 points off of their. Oh, I guess those are set scores because we have admins available.
That was their score prior to that, if Sir would like to set it.
Yes, we are done. Oh, didn't set tank. Oh, yeah. I didn't even pay attention to.
Well, we're not the admins here, sir. Paid to cast. Hope you don't get paid. Trying to figure out what the tank spawn was.
You can only vote boss on the original, on the first survivor side.
And we are restarting again.
Restart. Okay, I wouldn't. Okay, mind you, if I knew that there was going to be 2 restarts, I would never have done this. I would never have rigged the game like this to get a tank. Yeah, this is just this is just exactly. I didn't want this at all. Not like this.
This is peak Left 4 Dead 2. This is what I've come to expect. If the matches don't take 4 hours, like each map, I don't want to cast.
This is neither team. This is neither team's fault. You know, you just go into
Oh,
this and yeah. I mean, if you're not ready for something like this to happen, then you chose the wrong game. Go play like Valorant or something where there's like significantly less potential bullshit to occur. Okay, all right. Very quick on the draw for the Survivor Slay by Sir.
Still
And-
didn't set the tank though.
Oh my god. Okay, we got it. Okay, with the last second switch for the tank's spawn set. Okay, we got it, boys. We're in there. Hell yeah. Okay, if we're restarting everything, can we restart the match from last night as well? Like, I mean, just while we're at it, I don't think that's a lot to expect. Just because we're restarting everything anyway, right?
I mean, I support that. I have no bias in this at all. All I did was cast that game. I'm definitely not on the team.
Okay. All right. I think we're in a position where my Youngblood's minus 3 points for stalling. All right. So we're live here. This is the second attempt to have an SI map for Team Youngbloods, and the second attempt for Team Quickcleans to take it as cleanly as they did on the first time. So I'm hoping that they actually have a very similar type of Survivor play leading up to the event, because I think it would be, yeah. Can we replay it with the same, go to the same with the same health? I think that's reasonable to ask. I think that's, yeah. Oh, we had no spitter. That's also true. That, yeah. Ooh, we have good arguments coming because it was very, very good Survivor play, but it's true that they also had no spitter to be able to land those kind of hits onto them. So I can see an argument for both sides. And I'm going to abstain. I'm going to stay impartial to this.
I'm gonna sit here and drink my water and not get into this argument. They are gonna get a natural horde though. That's so exciting.
Oh, I almost never see this. This is the 30-second horde timer coming into. Honestly, I think it's actually a pretty good way to clear out all the common infected. But we do have an attack going in here. Charge is going to land into that hole there, kind of getting a stumble and the 2 punches out on to Young. That is already more damage than the entirety of the prior hits. And, you know, mind you, that damage was not due to the spitter. That was due to a charger and jockey combo in that room. So, yeah, so nicely done by Team Youngbloods, capitalizing on that. And, yeah, there we go.
We do have a Smoker Charger Hunter Boomer for this next hit. They may go for the Death Charge if they're feeling spicy. I'm not sure if they are yet, though. Looks like that Charger and Smoker are both set up outside, so they are going for a Death Charge. Maybe not the one in the window, but the one that I think is a little bit more difficult to get over the edge, because you got to angle it really well and hope that you slide along and then go over right at the corner. It's really dumb. I don't know why it works, but it does. I'm not going to complain.
Also, I believe a death charge at the barrel. I think if you angle it correctly, you can charge them over the little ledge there. I think there's a little clip that you can get. That natural horde is coming in for an extremely long time, I also realized. So it looks like the SIR is set up to try to hit on the transition back after they hit the event. Charger coming in from very far away. This is going to be very difficult. Very nice skeet by Young onto the Hunter, and this Charger's got absolutely no hope of landing the charge at that point. And that is a very nice transition back. 2-boom did land, but that's not a whole lot of damage to speak of. And Survivors will be back to this event with not quite as much health as they had last time, as Young has taken, you know, it looks like about 40 points of damage But literally everybody else sitting at 99 or 100 HP, so it's not much to complain about.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm quick clean, it is what it is. It's the game being the game. Nobody can help that. So they're being good sports about it, and I appreciate that. We do have a boomer charger spitter jockey for this next hit. This is not the worst hit in the world for this little room, but they may just choose to save it and wait, which also would not be very. No, they are going to be sending the hit though. That jockey does go and get him. To jockey
Whoa.
or charger gets melted. Spit does go down to nothing, and a one boom does go out on Josie. That was a very, very good take by Quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like that charger took 0 damage before it got into the doorway, and it lasted maybe 0.3 seconds after it got through. So, that's just proof that if all the survivors are shooting where you're supposed to shoot, things will not land, just straight up. So it looks like we're gonna have actually a quad cap set up. There's no way that they drop this hit on them right now. And was it just me that that event seems short?
That was really short.
But nevertheless, the horde is done and the dumpster has been lowered. So the SI are going to set up for this attempted quad cap on this ladder. I kind of doubt that they're going to. Oh yeah, I guess tech percentage is at 48%. So this is actually a pretty dangerous thing here that they will have the spot cap set up for when they go on top of this dumpster, and the tanks get spawned pretty much right on top of that. So if they're not careful and they get ledge hanged by a smoker or a jockey while the tank is spawning, the tank can just roll right in on that. So I'm really interested to see how this hit goes down. I have a sergeant going out onto this, and oh, that was a very nice shutdown, but the Charger almost had the death charge. I think if the Charger had been there 1 second sooner, he might have had an opportunity at it. But now the tank has no SI up right now for this transition here, and he's going to have to run away, and the survivors are in an amazing position for taking this tank. 3 survivors sitting at 5 punch still.
Absolutely. That was a very, very good take by Quick Clean. Almost got that death charge, but they were able to. It looks like Seyoung was able to dodge that very well. We do have the tank going in with that one boom on Lewis. He is going to have a smoker and charger for support. Looks like the tank is trying to get the corner on Lewis right now. There is not a lot of horde right now, but now there is. He is going to be able to get that punch on Lewis to start it off. Gets a couple more, but nothing to speak of yet. Yeah, he's going to get that down. Charger is going to go out on Francis, and Bill is going to get smoked. Hunter is coming up. Francis is going to... No, Francis is not going down. He's going to go down on Lewis. He also gets corner on Bill. Tank is quite low, but he does get the down on Bill. Francis is able to take Bill, so the tank is jumping out, but that was a pretty good tank by Geekit.
Yeah, that was a pretty good tank. However, the survivors are still sitting at a pretty solid bonus. So if you're the home, then if they do not take some more of this bonus down to about 300 or less bonus, then this game is still this is a very, very close game, not considering the fact that it's home and away. So you're it's around map 2 or 3. You want to start accumulating some sort of substantial lead, if you want to have a strong point differential going into your home game or going into your away game rather. So I think it's up to the SI right now to take some of this damage bonus off right now and mitigate some of the score, because you don't want this game to be too close.
Absolutely. They really got to put in a lot of work here. And these are all very tight corners and tight areas, great for charge spits. And they do have charge spit right now. We do have that jockey going and triangling on Bill. And he is able to land on Bill for just a bit. Charger is going to go in but get absolutely melted. Bill is going to swim and spit for a moment, and that smoker is just really not able to get anything in that tight corridor. But that was an okay hit on the boat.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. It took about 30% off the DB. So Survivor's sitting at 478 bonus right now, which is I think 200 or so above where Team Youngbloods made it in. And they will have one more hit to attempt to take a bit more off of that. So it's going to be pretty solid setup for outside. And Boomer's going to go in and just get shut down. I think maybe, because even if that Boomer landed, I'm not sure if there's a whole lot that the SI could have done in that room there. So they're only going to have 3 SI to try to get something out onto the survivors as they roll into the safe room.
Looks like that Hunter is trying to get that damage to pounce, and we do have the Charger rocketing and not able to land. Seyoung does get a very nice hit on that Hunter. The jockey lands on Josie for just a little bit, but it's quickly cleared enough. And we do have that Charger looking for that respawn. Smoker set up in the back, trying to get a pullback. He does get a pull on Lewis, but it's quickly cleared. That Charger does get the respawn, but he is not able to get anything. And as a reminder, I believe Team Youngbloods did score 1592. Yes, 1592. So Quickleans in the lead.
Yeah, Team Quickly is in the lead on their away server. I mean, it is an away server, but they're all orange pink, so it's extremely playable. Like if you're West Coast player, this is what you typically get to like New York almost. So this is I mean, this is definitely and especially considering the fact that the European teams have all been playing on high ping for an extremely long time, so they are more than comfortable, I think, playing on their away servers typically. And it just goes to show with those really solid shutdowns, landing the hunter skeets, landing the quick clears onto smokers and jockeys, not walking into chargers. So yeah, very nicely done by Team Quickleans, showing exactly why they are seeded number 2 in this tournament.
Absolutely, and we are setting the scores now, so they should be correct for you guys. Our apologies for that. We're doing the best we can without admin.
All right, so we see a lead of 38 points. Wait, no.
Wait.
44 points. 44.
I'm checking your math on that. I don't believe you.
Check it. That's totally 4 points.
Begrudgingly, you are correct.
Hell yeah. See, I'm allowed one mistake. All right. All right, so we have officially set the scores for this round, and we do have Team Quickleans in the lead with a 44-point lead on their away server.
Did they just swap their scores? What's happening?
They fix themselves at the end. I'm willing to trust Sir on this one. I'm not ready to restart too much more and keep swapping scores and stuff like that. I think if we just pay attention to bonuses and stuff like that, we'll be fine. We'll get through the end on the other side.
At some point, things will be correct, and everything will be fine, and we'll all go home happy knowing that we got to watch Left 4 Dead 2 and enjoy this incredibly broken game.
Absolutely. We are just waiting for Yumi to ready up, and scores have been set once more, as is tradition. Okay, it looks like this is how it's supposed to be. Okay, we are officially live. Sir says all good. Sir the Almighty has claimed that it's good, and so I trust this. We do have this first hit. It's going to be a 2-2 hit with a Jockey Hunter. So not a huge amount of damage potential for this first hit, but if they land a hunt, but they could get some sort of decent chip. Hunter's making some noise up top, going in. Very nice stumble from the Jockey, allowing the 23 damage point hunt to land onto Josie. So as I say, not a huge amount of damage potential, and they just Team Youngblood's proving me wrong there. That awesome stumble with that Hunter with the straight pounce, and if you're a survivor, especially a survivor the skill level of Team Quickleans, you see a straight pounce and Hunter, you're like, oh, easy skeet, and then all of a sudden the Jockey comes out of nowhere and stumbles you into 23 damage pounce. So very nicely played by them.
They absolutely just took Josie's lunch money, and I know he's feeling that right now. But they do have a quad cap here, and that quad cap is going to be going in. Bull's going to go out on Bill, but the Strider takes it. Hunter does go out on Lewis. This will be a lot of damage. Looks like Zoe did get the clear on that Jockey, so a good damage mitigation from that quad cap. That could have been a lot more damage. We just still have that Smoker up, though, trying to maybe get a sneaky pull on Bill. He's looking for it. I don't know if he's going to get it. It looks like he's not going to be able to. He is going to despawn that Smoker. In this area, if I'm the SI, I'm not going to rely on getting a lot of damage here. It's tough to land SI here. We do have that spitter going in, landing a nice spit there. We do have the boom going out on Francis, and that is going to leave a Smoker and a Jockey up.
Yeah, some teams I've noticed will even just kind of go in one by one, trying to get exactly the type of setup that they want for the alley. But with all these spawn timers up right now, the survivors are going to get a free run through this alley. Jockey's going to maybe try to stop them up for a second, but the survivors are just rolling through this alleyway right now, and they're going to get through absolutely unscathed. And they're just ripping through this right now. They know that all the horde is very, very far behind them. So if they go forward, there's going to be a zero common spawned in front of them, essentially. So, yeah, now they're just going to hold out a hit here, and this is so far pretty solid survivor play, and nice recovery after that first hit.
Absolutely, and Team Youngbloods does have another quad cap up in the rotation. This is not an easy area to land a quad cap in, and this is not an easy team to land a quad cap on. But I don't think necessarily that you have to try to cap all for survivors. Just getting damage is good. We do see that going in. Josie does get very nicely charged by Lucky Lock. Jockey does land on Lewis for a second, and Bill does get pulled in the back. That's going to be a lot of damage on Josie.
Counting charger slams, don't mind me. Yeah, very nice charge up there. Managing to get some kind of damage because after that Hunter Ski and the Smoker quick clear and everything, it was looking like they weren't going to get a lot out of that quad cap attempt, but nicely done by Lucky Law getting that nice charge. And they're going to have some form of damage going into this tank because this tank is at 84%, and you do not want to fight an 84%, or you do not want to play an 84% tank if the Survivor's having a lot of health. That's a very nice hunt spit going into that corner there. Everything is just on top of Josie. This is a ton of damage. He might even go down from that double spit in that corner with the boomer just scratching him there. That was a huge amount of damage going on to Josie, so nicely capitalized there. Even managing to make a 2-2 hit like that worked really well. So that's more the type of SI play that you're going to want to see a bit more consistently from Team Quickcleans, or onto Team Quickcleans from Team Youngbloods.
Absolutely, and like you said, Zoe is now on completely damage bonus, and we still have not even had the tank yet. This is a rough tank spawn. But I would like to point out, they have another quad cap. Their sack order has been very, very, very good. They're killing those boomers and spitters very late. Do have a charger going out on Lewis. That's a... This is going to be a lot of damage. Jockey is going to take Fritz quickly clear.
That's the third quad cap that had this. They must be doing something right with their sack order, because that's very impressive. If that jockey was slightly better positioned, then that would have been the quad cap landing. That jockey was just a bit too far from the last standing survivor to be able to get onto them. This tank is right in the window here, but he can't jump through that window without crouching through, unfortunately, so he won't be able to catch them. That was looking really scary there for a second, but the survivors are rolling back. Will this tank try to cut them off? No, it looks like he's just going to try to get his hittables on top of this roof. He does have a dumpster up there. That's all he's going to go for. Lucky Luck is still on grace period for this tank fight, but the survivors are heavily bleeding out, so Lucky's probably going to try to play this pretty slowly.
And this is a very easy rock tank to play. It's pretty difficult for Chip to go in. We do have a dumpster going in. That might go deep. Oh. That was such a close dumpster. Josie now standing on the dumpster. That is ballsy, and we do see a rock going in. Josie eats a rock!
Josie! Come on, man.
Grabbing some pills.
Can't be eating those rocks.
Josie is going to pop another set of pills, leaving them on one set of pills. Another rock is going in. This time Josie does get the skeet on it. They do have a Smoker Boomer jockey up in the rotation. Looks like that hit is now going in. Pull does go out on Bill. Rock does not land, unfortunately. That Smoker is quickly cleared, but Bill is now slow. Boomer is set up in the back looking for something. Another skeet does go out on that rock. Looks like they are trying to LOS the tank, and the tank is getting LOS, but it's going to go for that forklift now. Nice pop up by Yumi going out on that Boomer. Tank now just trying to work in his forklift.
Yeah, Tank is now in a slightly compromised position. He won't be able to get to this forklift without taking a decent amount of damage. He does have those dumpsters, so he can kind of herd the survivors to where he wants them with these two hittables. Tank is now committing here, looking for some kind of play with this dumpster, and Bill is... Say Young just walking directly into the dumpster. I'm not sure if that was okay, anyway, Tank's still going in here. Hit's gonna try to go in and help out. Charger landing. Hunter got cleared. This is now a corner onto Francis. Tank has got very little health left. That's gonna be a down onto Thug. Josie getting punched away one more time, and that's going to be a dead tank, but Say Young standing on top of that dumpster is cursed, man.
It is.
Josie ate the rock standing on top of the dumpster, and then Say Young saying, you know what, I'm gonna take that example and stand and walk into the dumpster. And granted, it was good. It was very good hittable placement by Lucky Lucky at the forklift blocking the left side over there, and the survivors were forced to go over to the right toward the dumpster. Maybe not quite that close, but very, very nicely capitalized by the SI. Now the survivors are sitting at 24 health bonus, and 100 spit going out onto Josie. That's going to take Josie down, and he is almost going to go in cap there. So, and now, yeah, that will be in cap onto Josie, who will now be black and white, which, if they get a kill onto him, that will help them to not maybe get the rest of the distance points on this map. So yeah, SI really picked it up. They got great support onto that tank. Tank did a great job at positioning the hittables. That's what you want to see if you're Team Youngbloods.
Absolutely. And I do want to give a shout out to Yumi there. He got that very quick clear on that hunter and was able to M2 the jockey and shut it down. And if he did not do that, they absolutely wiped there. So, fantastic tank by Lucky Lock, but good job Yumi for preventing that wipe. And we do see that charger going out on Yumi. Does not get the down though. He does get cleared. He does get hunted at the front and boom, he's going to go down as well. That is going to mean that Young is black and white for this.
Yeah. This is going to be 2 players. Or wait, is Josie not black and white? Oh no, he didn't go. Oh, I was under the impression that Josie got incapped during that hunt spit because it was just so much damage. But no, yeah, they're currently sitting at 18% bonus, trying to limp their way to the. But considering that is an 84% tank, this is now the opportunity that Youngbloods need to start getting some kind of lead onto this game. They're gonna need to make this safe room with I think a sizable bonus and start to create some sort of point differential, because you're gonna not want to go into Team Quickclean's home server, even if it's tied. That's already looking really bad.
Absolutely, and we do have 2 players now, black and white, as they did down Yumi. Thug Life's just sitting on 2 HP right now. That boomer is going to go in, does get nicely popped by Josie, leaving up a charger and a jockey. They are just limping to the safe room right now. This jockey is going to spawn up, try to scare the survivors just a little bit. Jockey's going to go in, does get the down on Thug Life. Charger is going to go and get nicely shut down, and Josie gets jockey.
Josie almost died there to that jockey. But he's looking for something there. It's going to land out to Francis, who barely escapes, and they just... Good job by the survivors on no health. They managed to make it all this distance. They came out of the tank fight with 20 or so bonus, and now they've made up the whole distance points for the map, which is very nicely done by them to play, on 20 health or left the whole time. So they will be able to get all the distance points for this map. And that will be a death out onto Bill. This charger is just going to camp out this safe room. Dude, climb up. Oh, there's no ladder. I forgot. You can't climb up yet.
Put it there. That charger is going to go in. Does get the charge on Lewis. Not able to get the death, though. Jockey is in the back looking at that scratch on Josie, and he's able to get the pounce and down him. Francis gets jockeyed as well. Spit's going to go down on that. Francis can take a little bit of damage, but they are going to be able to make it into the safe room with 2 survivors and no bonus.
Yeah, I mean, considering the fact that there was a couple of survivor misplays during that tank fight, they've now made 3 out of 3 safe rooms on their away server. So, I think your away server is where, if you're on survivor, you're more likely to make a couple mistakes. And it's slightly more forgiving. So I mean, granted, they're still in the lead. And now Team Youngbloods have to make the safe room, and they have to start making up some kind of bonus here and create a bit of a points delta if they want to have the best shot possible when they go to their away server.
Absolutely. I mean, Quickclean are doing what they need to do here. They took a lot of damage that map. They did not make any bonus, but they made full distance. And that is putting Youngbloods in a very precarious position, where they are going to have to make a lot of bonus so they have a lead going into their away game. If they don't, that... I hate you.
You said absolutely like 17 times. I couldn't help myself.
Oh my god, I'm being bullied and attacked. This is why chat, they don't do this to me.
Dude, yeah. There's so many synonyms for agreeing. You can say, I concur. Definitely. Totally. Yep. But you just chose absolutely like 7 times in a row. I just couldn't help but point it out.
Will Sparlow, if you are watching this, I would like K3 off the team, or it's me. But we do have that hit going in there. Pretty good damage going out from it. It was a 2-2, so you don't expect a lot out of it. But, I would take that damage from Quickclean. They do have a quad cap up in the rotation.
Yeah, I mean, if the last round was anything to speak of, then there's going to be a lot of quad caps attempt on this map, and the survivors got really, really separated there. There's a very nice ski onto Thug Life by BB Jam, but then he just got jocked away. So I do not think that the survivors were ready for this transition with this event start, because that's a ton of damage, and that's not what you want to see if your Team Youngbloods is to be going into the events and have to wait it out already down with 1 survivor at 22 HP.
Absolutely. It looks like BB Jam to get a little bit aggressive there, and he got the speed on the Hunter, great, he fragged out, but he did eat that jockey, and that Charger just beat him and took his lunch money just like they took Joe's.
He spat from the bottom corner through the fence, and it went arced all the way over top of all of the survivors. That's rough. I think they're just sacking that spitter for a quad cap attempt in the hallway. Because I think Team Youngbloods on their SI last round, they had like 3 or 4 quad cap attempts, one of which was very, very close. So, if they keep the sack order strong, it looks like they're going to get several opportunities, and they do have the quad cap set up. I very much expect them, they are set up on top of this roof. They're going to go for a quad cap attempt in this hallway, which I think is the right call, because getting much damage on the survivors here during this event holdout is not very possible.
Absolutely. That's what I thought. Silent. Anywho, we do have the survivors sitting here just clearing out some common. They don't have to rush this. They're not bleeding yet. They haven't taken their pills. There's no reason to run into a hit they don't have to run into, especially if the SI aren't going to send it. So they're just going to clear out this event, take their time. Patience is key in this game. That's the big thing. Is if you're rushing and you're panicking and you just try to get as much of this as possible, you're going to run into hits that you don't have to eat. And it looks like they are now starting to push.
Reloading.
Yeah, and you do have the same type of thing from the SI, as you want to throw all these hits at them all the time, and just constantly try to get some kind of chip damage. But why go for the maybe the guaranteed little plays when we can go for the maybe slightly higher risk big plays? It's if you're playing SI on an away server, I think you gotta go for those big plays. Do we have the hit coming in here? Jockey looking for something. He's gonna get a land there, and it's not getting clear. We do have a tri-cap landing, and it's gonna be very, very close to the quad cap landing, but this is still a ton of damage. That smoker had connected onto the last standing survivor that was gonna be the quad cap landing, because the tri-cap did connect onto the survivors. So very nice attempt, and you see like the SI waited for like 2 entire minutes for that hit, and it paid off, getting a ton of damage onto the survivors.
Absolutely. I mean, they nearly got that quad cap. That smoker went for the same target that the Charger did, which is so unfortunate. Had that smoker been able to get Zoe, that's a quad cap, and this map is over. So very, very good job by Quickclean. I don't know, that was Sir this time. Sir, I'm suing you. We do have a hit up here, though. It is a Spitter, Charger, Hunter, Boomer, a 2-2, but a good 2-2 at that. Lewis is going to have to commit more pills. Looks like the survivors are just clearing out some common right now. That Charger and Spitter are set up. Charger is going to go and land the charge on Lewis. Spit's going to go down on that. Hunter is going to go down on Zoe on the forklift and move the forklift. Boomer is going to go in, maybe try to get a stumble into that Spit, but that is a lot of damage from BB Jam.
Yeah, and a triple boom landing as well. Yeah, Baby Jam sitting at, 4 HP is going to have to either go down or take a set of pills here. And, they're going to be rolling into this tank with actually pretty comparable health to what Team Quickcleans ran into their survivor half tank with. And is this going to be another... Oh, it's going to be a Spitter in the lineup. That might have been another quad cap attempt, but the hit is going to be rolling in here out in the open. Charger isn't able to find a spot in that corner. Smoker and Jockey are just going to get completely shut down. Charge Spit going to maybe look for some kind of solo 2 SI attack up here before the tank spawns, maybe?
They might be able to. I mean, they still have this Charger and Spitter in rotation. Charger is going to rocket in and try to look for a charge on Elusive. Elusive nicely dodges that. Spit does go down on it. Because it didn't land, not much is happening. Looks like they are waiting to kill that Spitter just to try to mess up their spawn rotation a little bit. That tank spawns very close in the hands of Thug Life. We do have a Boomer up, and 2 Boom is going to go out.
That's big. Tank is crashing through here. He's going to go... Tank is going for the cutoff. Tank is going for the instant commit. He's going to... I'm not sure if he's going to get there in time. Survivors are rolling out. Tank's going to try to jump on top of them, and I think the survivors had it if they pushed all the way out, maybe. But the survivors now realize that they will be cut off if they go through. There's all this horde, and they have rotated back out to the other side. And I think we're seeing some hip straps being employed by the survivors. And Tank is going to be rolling in here. The horde is now dead, but the tank doesn't have any hittables here. Tank does not have the opportunity to bring in his hittables. Jockey's going to go in, get onto Bill. That will be a corner onto Bill, maybe if he manages to land the punches, but Tank is down to 56% health. Hunter is now dead. There's only a Smoker left up for support on this tank. Smoker is going to miss. Ruck's going to go out, connect onto Francis. Looking for some more damage, but this is not really gone the way that the SI were maybe looking for after that 2 boom.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a pretty dangerous area if they move any farther forward, because there are so many hittables. But fortunately, where they pushed, there isn't any, as you pointed out. But we do have a hit going in here. Charger is going to go out on Lewis in lane for just a moment. Tank's going to drop down on that and get a couple of punches on Lewis. Smoker is trying to get something, but he does not get another punch on Lewis, and that is going to be a dead.
Lie still and let me.
I mean, considering the health that the tank or that the survivors had going into the tank, that's a pretty okay take. I mean, like, ideally, you want less than that. Like, okay, maybe for overall the tank fight, like, it did maybe more damage than you were hoping for, but after the 2-boom landed on the tank, there's only so much you can do and put the survivors in a really compromised position, and they managed to, I think they chose the right decision in trying to go back first, realizing, okay, we're going to get cut off and wiped if we go through here, and turn back the other way and force the tank to commit with no hittables. And even though Thug Life and his support did a good job at getting the damage that they could on that spot, the survivors definitely are rolling in here. Currently sitting at a 336 bonus, hoping to get some kind of higher points leading into the safe room. And this might be, if not the last hit, going to be almost the last hit going to the safe room.
Absolutely, and that was a very, very good take by Youngbloods. Hunter was the only thing that landed for just a moment. It was quickly cleared. Sir concurs. I'm so glad that he does. We have his approval. My life is complete. We are going to have one more hit coming up, though. It is going to be a Jockey, Charger, Boomer, Smoker. We do have the Smoker spawning up, looking for something, anything we can get. He's going to point pull on Lewis, which allows the Charger to get it. Jockey does get on Francis in the back. Boomer's not able to get the spawn. He just gets M2'd and popped on Elusive, but that's another take by Youngbloods, and they are able to make the safe room with an okay bonus.
Yeah, I mean, they did lose about 50 points on that last hit, which isn't ideal, but they did make it in with a 256-point bonus, and so they now are in the lead going into this fourth map. Granted, 200-point score differential, 3 maps into. I believe they're probably only going to play the first 4 maps of Dead Air if they're doing home and away. Otherwise, it turns into like 3 hours of Left 4 Dead. But okay, so this isn't a huge score differential. I do want to see a really big map coming out of Team Youngbloods on the next chapter. And it looks like we do have a 21% tank. That's definitely a safe room fight. They cannot even push into the room at the end of the hallway. This is absolutely a safe room fight. And so this is the kind of tank where you can either totally ace it or you get wiped, and there's kind of no in between. So this is even though there's so much damage potential on this tank, it's kind of what you need right now if you're Team Youngbloods. You need the opportunity for a wipe, which you don't really get with the open area terminal tank. And you also need the ability to be able to shut down the tank. So I need to see a big chapter coming out for Team Youngbloods right now.
Absolutely. God, I keep trying not to do it, then I do it.
Honestly, it's okay. It's okay. Like, I don't blame you. There's a lot of pressure in casting, and you get habits. I have habits. I have bad habits, and I stumble and I stutter my words. Honestly, of all the caster habits to have, just saying absolutely a lot is by far and away not the worst thing to have.
This is the support that I needed that I didn't get from chat. Our first hit is going to be a Spitter, Hunter, Jockey, Charger. Looks like they are setting up for a very, very early hit. Bill is going out. Hunter does go in, trying for that wall pounce. Does land on Lewis. Jockey lands on Lewis as well. Bill got hunted, excuse me. That's going to be a lot of damage.
Damn. Nice tank. As our former casters, Dragon of Battle, would have said, it's a blood orgy.
I'm reloading.
We do have the tank, the 21% tank of this map in the hands of Josie. And we are going to be seeing a Boomer try to go in here. That would have been a big boom if it landed, but it's just going to be a stack. I think they're looking for a Charger and a Jockey for the support for this tank. And we do have 2 survivors, I think, sitting at 3 punches. So this is a already amazing damage for this tank setup now.
Yeah, and getting spawns I think they're looking for, which is a Jockey, Hunter, Charger. This is a very, very good setup if they're going to be fighting it in the safe room. And it looks like Josie is starting to push in now. That Jockey is pretty strong. The front looking for
got it.
Got it. They do have the Jockey on Bill. Zoe does get hunted, and he is able to rock that, take that corner. This is going to be a lot of.
Yeah, this it's going to be, if not a lot of damage, possibly a wipe. This is now 2 incaps. This tank still has 50% health on with 40% health. They're doing a good job at kiting, but this is now 2 survivors. Oh, Lewis gets cornered up in the ceiling. If they do, this is a wipe. This is just a wipe. I don't think the survivors can recover from this. Yeah, they're in the hallways. They're in such a bad position. There's commons. Francis can't kite anywhere else. This is going to be a corner from Josie. That's going to be a wipe coming out from Team Quickcleans onto Youngbloods. And now this puts Team Youngbloods in a very, very bad position because they absolutely have to wipe. Because if they do not wipe, then they will be losing going into their home server. At which point you start debating if you even want to play the Quickcleans home server.
Concur. I'm constantly making a decision now. I remember way back in the day when teams would fight this early tank, back in that little back room as soon as you enter the hallway, where you have like the little pedestal in the middle and all the tables. But now it's shifted to the safe room, and the safe room is so hard because you can see things like that happen. Where that early jockey happens, and once it happens, it's just over. But we do have this hit going in. Chargers get nicely shut down. We do have a 2 cap landing right there. But it's so quickly cleared and Spit does not go down on it that the damage really was mitigated very well by Quickclean.
Yeah, this is a quick clean clinic right now. Definitely very nicely played on their ends. Yeah, on that last SI hit, like the survivors put themselves in a position where they could get intercepted, and that jockey just dropped down, got the stumble, which gave an instant corner on top of the jockey that just went away. And at that point, there was 2 survivors down with the tank at 50% health, and there just wasn't really a way to recover from that. This was a nice try boom coming out, but the horde is just going to get evaporated here in this hallway. Honestly, like I would like to see a wipe here because I do want to see Team Youngbloods come out with the lead here so that it does force the game 2. So I am looking for they do have the setup that they want. This is the setup that wiped Team Youngbloods on their survivor hats, and the tank is going to be rolling in here. Elusive with the weight on his shoulders to get this wipe for this game.
Being very, very careful here, but he is starting to go in now. That Charger is pre-spawn, trying to make some noise, scare them. Hunter is on the corner, and he does get the quick punch on Francis, and so he gets a punch. Another double punch. A lot of damage going out, but he has a 1500 HP. The support needs to get in there quickly. Looks like the support is going in. He does get the down on Francis. Lewis does get cleared from that Hunter. Jockey does lean on Lewis, and Charger is not able to lane. He does get the down on Zoe, but this tank is dead.
I think, the SI support went in, maybe a little bit late. They landed the caps, but they weren't maybe on the caps that they needed to land on. They needed to secure the guys up top, but still, those were that was actually very impressive tank play by Elusive. Maybe not securing the wipe because it is very, very difficult to wipe in that safe room. But he managed to get some really awesome multis. He managed to multi. He punched a guy on the bottom floor and a guy on the top floor at the same time with that ladder punch, which I thought was quite impressive. So very nicely done by Elusive's tank. Unfortunately, not getting the wipe, but they do have enough damage to here where they can take down the rest of their health, and that's another solid hit going out there. They potentially, if they wipe them on the next couple hits or so, then they can still maintain the lead.
Oh, for sure. And, like you said, like with these pings, like it's not going to be like such a detriment that you're playing on like 250 pings. So playing the away server is not going to be that bad for them. Even if, quickly looks into this leading into the away game, they can still do it. Youngbloods can still pull this out. I do want to call this well, shit. Well, there we go. All right. Jockey, Hunter, Charger, Boomer. We got it. It's fine. We do see that Jockey landing for just a moment. Hunter lands as well. One boom does go out on Zoe, and Charger lands as well. That's pretty good damage for that hit.
Yeah, I mean, that is solid damage, and I think what you see is, like, Team Quickcleans have demonstrated that with, anywhere between 112 and 150 ping, you can still absolutely play very, very solid survivor play. And so if you're going into a away server, even if you are down by a little bit, because it looks like Team Quickcleans are going to be taking the lead here on their away server, so they will come out with the W on this side. But they demonstrated that, hey, it's possible with good survivor play to come out with the lead on your away server. So there's nothing stopping Youngbloods from doing the same. I've seen on numerous occasions teams playing better on their away server than on their home server, because sometimes when you're playing on your home server, you're able to identify certain issues that need to be addressed with your gameplay. And if you're able to correct those issues, even with the higher ping going into your away game, then sometimes you just play better.
For sure. Yeah, and some teams just do feel more comfortable on higher ping, especially non-North American or even American teams, because they're so used to playing on higher ping. We do have a quad cap center going in here. Bolt is going to go out on Zoe in the back. That is going to be a 2-cap at the front with a target getting some punches, so that's going to be a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, I think if the hunter had landed on someone else, it was going to be a tri-cap, because the awesome jockey stumble. Survivors are trying to limp toward the safe room. They're currently sitting at 100 bonus, even though it doesn't look like it if you look at their health, but they do have 35% damage bonus. They're limping their way towards the safe room, trying to get as big of a lead as possible. Nice M2 on the boomer, but they are going to pop it because they're just too slow to run away from the boomer. This is going to be just a wipe. Just 3 survivors sitting in this pit, and this will be a wipe, and they are saying good half. And we are confirmed that we are going to be playing Team Youngblood's away game and Team Quickcleans' home game. So it's going to be a 209-point lead for Team Quickcleans going into their away game, which is very, very nicely played by them. I think they've played up to par to where you would expect from them, I think.
Oh, they definitely have. I think this is what we've come to expect out of a team like Quickclean, that we've seen so many of them in tournaments and on different teams, and we've seen, different amalgamations of these players. And we know people like Thug Life and Josie. They've played together for a long time. They have that chemistry. This is what we know them for. And so if I had to take a guess right now, I could totally see Quickcleans taking this, but I'm not going to count Youngbloods out. I think they have a very good shot at this. If they can clean up their survivor play a little bit, if they can organize their infected a little bit more, they can totally take this.
Say if they quickly clean up their survivor play.
I never asked you again. I too, you're wonderful, but I'm also might kill you at some point.
Cool. But yeah, so we will be heading into the home server for Team Youngblood, or for Team Quickcleans rather, playing Europe. We just finished that game. See, I'm not perfect either. So yeah, I'm excited to see how, because I think that there was enough data there to see where Team Youngbloods need to maybe fix up a couple of things on maybe their SI side. Or I think their SI side was pretty damn solid for a lot of it. I think there's a couple things on their survivor side to be touched up on in terms of positioning, and that you can say, okay, maybe here's the things that we need to fix, and this next match will give them the opportunity to, even though they have slightly higher ping, it's still very playable, and I'm going to be interested to see if they make those improvements.
Oh, definitely. And, not playing Finale, I think, is the right call, because chat's talking about this right now, but that Finale is brutal. And in a home and away game, that's 2 more maps that are both quite long. I don't blame the teams for not wanting to play it. So we are only going to see the first 4 maps of Dead Air, but counting out map 1, which not a lot usually happens on, you don't usually make too much bonus on it or get much of a lead off of it, that really leaves 6 maps for Youngbloods to make this up. And I think it's possible. I think with tank spawns that we got, especially that map for early tank, you can kill that pretty easily and make a lot of bonus on it. And if they're able to do that, they could take away the win.
Yeah. Honestly, I just want to play a tank this next game. I came this close to playing a tank last game. I really want to try it this time.
I support that. I think you should get to play a tank. What's stopping you? God, the tournament admins? Who cares? K3 for tank.
K3 for tank. Give me the hittables, boy. So, okay, so we're taking a poop break for Lucky Luck. So, we're going to have a short intermission here. Just gonna go into super quick analysis about that last game. I think Team Youngbloods did a pretty solid job on their SI side. They were able to capitalize on some really key points, generally landing in general onto a team with such solid survivor like Quickcleans is pretty generally hard. So, I think that they did overall a pretty good job to, have these quad cap attempts that would go in and they would land a tri cap on top of them. They would land most of their SI, barring maybe a couple of the hunger skates that would come out. So I don't think a lot really needs to be addressed on their SI side for the most part. It's going to be more challenging, obviously, because if you look at the ping for Team Quickcleans, they're sitting at a maximum of 40 ping. And I, personally, I've never played at less than 50 in my entire life. So it's going to be difficult for Team Youngbloods to land quite like they did on the last campaign, but absolutely not impossible because they showed a lot of coordination, I think, with most of those hits.
Sure, yeah. I think really the only thing that I noticed was that occasionally their SI during tanks, like, especially on that map 4 tank, was a little bit discombobulated and they weren't really able to get in when they needed to. And that's why the wipe didn't happen. If they can clean up those really small things, they're going to have a really good shot of taking this. In terms of like their survivor, I think it was pretty strong too. They got good shutdowns. I think sometimes, they got a little aggressive, like that charge or that jockey on BB Jam on map 3. But really, these are just small mistakes that are happening that might just be like, due to miscommunication, just due to getting a little too excited and rushing forward. They're easily fixable things. And I want to commend Youngbloods for their fantastic sack order, because as we saw on map 3, I think they got 4 quad caps, almost like back to back to back to back nearly, and they nearly landed quite a few of them. So the coordination is. Yeah. See, I'm not the only one that says it, even if you're mocking me.
Yeah, I think that the main thing that maybe separates these two teams in terms of their play on the last game was it seemed like Team Quicklands had more of a game plan leading into different choke points. It seemed like they were pretty well defined on exactly where they wanted to take hits and where they wanted to take tanks. You saw, like, for example, map 4, where the survivors, they saw exactly where the survivors were set up and they immediately devised a game plan. It's like, okay, it's a big play, because if that jockey gets M2'd that tries to go in for that intercept when the tank is committing, all of a sudden they're down 1 support and that tank is going to get shredded on the way to the safe room, and it might be like maybe a 1 or 2 down tank tops. But they established a game plan going for that, and they managed to land it very well and execute on it. And then they saw, okay, we don't want to give the opportunity for something like that to happen to us, so we're going to fight the tank in the safe room. We're like, when you're fighting the tank inside the safe room, you're going to take at least 2 win caps because it's just impossible to not get cornered in there. But that unless you don't shut down any of the SI, you're not going to get wiped, almost certainly. And you're going to come out with taking a lot of damage, but you will come out. And so it's making those types of decisions on the fly, and having your entire team on board with the game plan, I think, can make a really big difference. Just in terms of adaptation.
You know what? We're rolling with it. I'm going to keep saying absolutely, and nobody can stop me. Child supports me.
I'm not even going to call you out on it anymore. I just want people just to genuinely be aware.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for exposing me like this. I've been so nice to you, K3.
All it means is that I'm an attentive listener, and I'm paying attention to the words you say.
My heart is what you're doing. I had a point and I completely lost it. But you know what? We're going to roll with this. We're going to roll with these early tanks. We're going to have fun with this. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch this amazing match. And so far, both teams have played very, very well. It's been really interesting to see. I think both of these teams are obviously very good players. They have a lot of experience, especially a player like Lucky Lock, who's been on a lot of top teams. I know he's won at least 1 tournament. He's a very, very smart player. Even if they lose this match, don't count them out of the tournament. They're playing the number 2 seed. They're playing some very experienced players. They still have a very, very good shot. This is only round 2. I don't think any team can be counted out yet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I've played against every single player in this game several times, and I've been on the receiving end of some solid plays from all of them. So I'm definitely looking forward to see. I mean, if you're looking at the ping, like Lucky Lock currently sitting at 86 ping, that's extremely playable. That's like, that's people in North America play with that type of ping on a super regular basis. So I'm like the ping differential on the last game was not massive. So I am definitely expecting to have a pretty solid game coming up here.
Oh, for sure. And, we did see this 24% tank on map 1, which I believe they're setting. And we did not really get a chance to talk about this tank very much because they were readying up so quickly. But how do you like to play this tank? What do you like to do? Do you like to go over on the glass like we saw the last two tanks?
Yeah, I think that the current meta game that I've seen for pretty much every tank commit lately is okay, you're either going on top of the glass or you're dropping down and climbing up through the bottom floor window so that you don't take any chip on your way. I personally do like the commit from the top. I think that it's because if you're committing from the bottom, survivors basically will always kite you back inside the safe room and then drop off back out into the rest of the greenhouse, which it basically gives you 2 entire lengths of the greenhouse of free kiting unless the SI stop you, and the tank will just die otherwise. So I do like going on top of the glass there because it does give you a free drop onto someone to maybe get a corner. Because getting a corner by yourself with tank is otherwise very, very difficult if the survivors have good kiting in this area. I think it's a pretty hard spot for SI support more than anything. I think the tank's job is pretty linear. You're going to commit from the top or the bottom. You're going to try to get that corner onto a survivor on themselves. But the SI only have a couple of spawns. You can spawn behind the boards on top of the glass. You can spawn maybe behind that little tiny generator. You can, if you're really sneaky and the survivors don't do a good job at blocking, you can maybe spawn inside the safe room with a boomer or something, which is not what you want to see if you're the survivors. Or you can walk the SI in all the way from the front windows, which is, just basically asking to get shut down from a mile away. So I think that the SI support can really make or break this type of tank fight. And so I think a lot of it's up to them. If the tank gets his 1 quarter, I think his job has pretty much been done.
Oh, definitely. And, the benefit of coming through the glass and dropping down is that you're able to force the survivors off of those metal poles up top. You're able to force them out of the safe room. I was conscious of it. And you open up the safe room for those spawns. And we are now going live with this first hit, which is going to be a Charger, Smoker, Spitter. And I'm trying to type and get my spec head up. I got it. Charger, Spitter, Smoker, and Jockey. We do have that Jockey pre-spawning in the back, making some noise. Might be silent, who knows? You never know. This game Serve still has its fixed silent jockeys. Get on that. And you also have the opportunity for a ledge hang and a death charge, or even just a Charger, something. Charger ledge. There we go. We do see the hit going in. Charger goes in, not able to land anything. Spit goes down on nothing. Pull lands for just a moment, but it's quickly cleared. Very, very good take by team. Youngbloods, that's the team. They're not tagged up, so it's hard for me to remember.
Yeah, I for one am thankful of the many attempts that Sir has done to get rid of the silent jockeys. He re-added certain bacteria sounds so at the very least when a jockey is spawned. Oh, it wasn't Sir. I just either Sir is the new Jacob. I either credit or blame him for whatever happens. So we do have actually a 1 boom happening here. Tank is looking to commit on this. The Horde is having a tough time getting in here, which means it will be slightly delayed. I blame Canada Rocks. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. Tank is looking for this commit here. He hasn't taken a lot of damage coming on this commit. He's positioning really well. This is an early pass going out. This is going to be a free down on to Francis. He is in that corner. He will not be able to get out. Tank still has about 50% HP. Treasure going in and getting a really nice charge onto Zoe, who was on top of the pipe there, and that will be another corner onto Zoe. There's still a bit of board here. Tank throwing a rock instead of going for the corner. I think he had the seal up onto Zoe if he went for it. He does manage to get another punch onto Lewis, but this is going to be all she wrote for the tank. Looking for another punch, and that's going to be a 1 down and a half or so tank from Young onto the survivors. And I think overall pretty solid take by Team Youngbloods. It was looking pretty rough there after that first early hunt onto Francis in that corner. And I think that Young had the free down on to Zoe, who was getting up from the charger, but I threw a rock and wasn't quite able to seal that up.
Definitely. I think like he wasn't confident he was going to land the punch, so he went for the rock, but he definitely had it there. We do see Hunter going in and getting nicely skeeted by BB Jam. Lewis is going to swim and spit for just a little bit, but that Smoker getting very nicely shut down as well. So overall, another good take by Youngbloods. If I had to guess, probably going to be one more hit for this map, and they're going to be able to walk into the safe room with this bonus.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that they had a bad 2-2 setup for that for this area, because otherwise you'd want to save for the ladder hit, then you have potential for a death charge, but because they had such a shitty SI setup, they elected to just throw it at them early, and now they're going to go for something more here. Charger's going to get a nice separation charge up there. That's going to be one step onto Francis, who is the only damage bonus right now. Jockey getting a really nice separation jock onto Elusive. That was a lot of damage for this type of room hit. They didn't even have a spitter. I think the survivors were just probably expecting the SI to all hit outside and got caught kind of off guard with the nice charge up front. And yeah, I think it was maybe a mistake to lead with the damage bonus in the front, because he was if you're the only person that has temporary health, then all of a sudden you're worth the most points on your team. And so they allowed him to get charged up there. And it was a nice call by the SI to see that kind of play and go for it. That being said, all things considered, very nicely done by the survivors. They did a great job at coming out of that tank fight. And now, as we were saying last time, the ping is not super high, and they're in a position where, clearly they can make safe rooms with decent bonus. That was over 50% total bonus for the map. And Team Youngblood is showing that absolutely we can make this work on our away server, and we're still here to play.
Yeah, and Lucky Lock did a great job of getting out of that corner after getting charged on that tank. He really capitalized on the fact that that tank threw that rock. I mean, he ate the rock, but he was able to get out of the corner and get in safe and close the door, and that allowed them to kill the tank. So they're showing that they are not afraid of playing on an away server. Their pings aren't that high. They're going to be fine. Gay Kid does have the highest ping with 120. You know what, sir? Oh, you don't need this from you.
I mean, granted, honestly, clearly he's been having a good balance of fiber in his diet, because his break was nice and swift. He didn't keep us waiting for too long. I'm proud of Lucky Luck for that myself.
Oh, absolutely. I commend his bathroom habits. We do have the jockey spawned up here early as well. Looking like he's going to try to maybe get an early ledge hang. Very, very, what is the... Optimistic, thank you. I don't know English. I was an English major for 2 years, I swear. We do have that tank coming up, though. That jockey is going in. Charger is going in from the back. And we do get a pull on Zoe in the back with a lot of going on that, and a charge going on that. Spit going on as well. That's going to be a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think they spawned on top of the boards back there, like I was saying earlier, and that's already a ton of damage onto Thug, making the job of the tank that much easier. If, they're currently at a point after that huge hit onto Thug Life, that if they only get one in cap onto the survivors, and they're already going to be making back some points on this first chapter, and the survivors are Team Quickcleans are only ahead by about 200 points, so they can already start closing some of that delta on the chapter 1. So I'm currently loving how close of a game we're seeing here. Boomer's going to go in and sack there, looking for that tri-cap support for this tank fight. Gate Kid tank is currently already taking about 5% chip on top of here. I don't think that's super necessary, but I can see that he's just trying to maintain his rage so that he has enough to go in with this tank fight. He's going to go around here. It looks like the tank is going to be committing from the top here, like the previous tank. Tank in the hands of Gay Kid, moving into the survivors right now.
He is just climbing over the glass right now. We do have that Hunter and Jockey spawned up. He does drop into the safe room, gets a nice punch on Francis, allowing Zoe to stay in the safe room, though. And we do have a hunt going out on Lewis, another punch going out on Francis, but the tank does not go for the punch on Lewis. He instead shoots and chase Francis. We do see a 2-cap going out on Zoe and Lewis. The tank did not punch Lewis there, instead chase Francis, and that allowed for them to get out.
Tank got shredded there. You can saw by the time he dropped down, he was at red health by the time he was off of the top of the safe. And yeah, I think he got maybe a little bit tunnel vision on the one survivor that he was pushing. Now the survivors are pushing forward. They're going to be going into the death charge area. They do have a charger set up. Boomer going in is going to actually, unfortunately, miss his rocket, but does still land a one boom. We do have Lewis separated by himself. They're going for the death charge. They don't quite land it. I think that they could have been maybe slightly more patient, but Tank's going in. He actually does secure that last punch onto Bill, which is nicely played there. But yeah, I think that maybe the Tank got a little bit tunnel vision on the one survivor that he was pushing, and they did land a nice 2-cap onto Lewis and Zoe with some separation there, but there just was too much distance between the survivors to capitalize on it properly, and the survivors are now doing what Team Quickcleans are known for and just pushing strong and trusting in their abilities to shut down SI.
Definitely, and we do have one more hit here. It's going to be a Charger, Smoker, Spitter, Jockey. There's can be a lot of damage here. You see a pull going out on Bill. The front base quickly clear. Charger does miss. Zoe does get jockeyed for a moment. Francis is struggling to clear that with the Horde. That is their damage bonus, but they are going to be able to walk into the safe room here with a hefty bonus from it.
Yeah, I mean, solid overall survivor play. They did manage to lose a bit of their damage bonus at the end there, but that's only a 52 score differential. So, I mean, honestly, as much as there was maybe a couple of tiny misplays on the SI side there for Team Youngbloods, overall, this has been very close. And I think I'm really excited to see that Team Youngbloods have demonstrated with this last chapter that they're able to put up a hell of a fight on their away game. And so, yeah, anyone who may have been saying, oh, they were losing going into their away game, is GG, clearly is been mistaken, and there's absolutely a fighting chance for Team Youngbloods to be able to make this comeback, because if they were to able to get a couple more SI hits, then they would have made up some points on that last chapter alone. I do have my co-caster Blake currently taking a small break for bladder reasons. And we do have everyone saying, okay, we are going to set tank right now. Yes, okay, please do not ready. I've been so impressed with the ready up speed of all these teams. At times it's been almost too fast that we haven't had times to get their tank spawns set and stuff like that. So if we can get the tank spawns set properly for this round, then we'll be off to a good start. And there we go.
Block, watching out for K3. He does not want you to have that tank, but I support you. I want you to have it. We're going to get you this tank, so help me God. Looks like, yeah, like you were saying, like these ready ups have been so fast. They are ready. They want to play, and we want to watch it. And we are going live here with our first hit. It is going to be a Boomer, Jockey, Charger, and one more. Like, get up my that cut, a Smoker. So this is not a fantastic hit. There is no Spitter for this, and this is a very tight area. So, you know, having a Spitter here would be great, but there's still the possibility for a lot of damage. If you land a good boom, you can land a lot of separation. And it looks like that Boomer is set up on the ladder, so I believe that they are going to be waiting for this ladder hit.
Interesting. I usually don't see SI waiting for the ladder if they don't have a Spitter, but it looks like they're going to just trust in their SI coordination. I think overall, this type of hit does have the most damage potential if you land everything with a really solid coordination and that boom on top of everybody. So I'm interested to see where they do here. Arc Boom going to go out, landing onto Bill. That is a one boom. SI going to be probably dropping in here, you would think, but Charger dropped down. Do have the Smoker dropping down here. He's going to get a quick pull out onto Bill. It's going to be very quickly cleared. Nice separation Jockey landing for a lot of damage out onto Zoe. Charger landed as well, but did not get the pound onto after that. So pretty okay chip damage coming out of that. At first it looked kind of miscoordinated with that when the SI didn't go in right when the Boomer landed, but they managed to get something out of it at least.
I mean, 29 damage, I would take that without a Spitter. That's not bad. They are going to be having a Hunter, Boomer, Spitter, Smoker for this next hit, so no possibility of a Death Charge, but perhaps like a Death Hunter maybe. Who knows? I've seen weirder things happen. Looks like they are setting up to go inside here with this pretty close quarters hit. The Smoker's not going to do a lot, and that's okay. We do have the Hunter going in now, getting nicely speeded by Thug Life. Pull does go out in the back, but quickly cleared. Boom does go out on Lewis, and Zoe swims and spit for just a moment. So a little bit more damage going out, but overall, a good take by Quickcleans.
Yeah, nice awareness there. Hearing exactly where the Hunter spawned, it just like wall banging it through the breakable wall there, knowing exactly what the Hunter was planning before he even and Survivor's going to get a free transition back into this bottom room because the SI are not set up for it. And I hope that they don't get a Smoker, because that would be an unfortunate spot for a quad cap attempt, and it looks like they will not. They are going to go in here for a quick hit. Hunter getting nicely skidded in the doorway there. Charger getting absolutely nothing. Jockey getting empty to shut down. and this is just textbook Quickleans survivor play in this room. If you're an SI team, you're not happy to try to attempt to get damage while a team like Quickleans are sitting in a tight space like this.
Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna roll with it. Having a spitter here helps a lot, and they do have a spitter now. I'm gonna say it, sir. You can't stop me anymore. I will not be bullied into silence.
Yeah, you gotta own it.
Yeah, they do have a smoker here trying to get that pull. They do get a nice hunt out on Francis the front and spit. Pull does go out on him, but it's quickly cleared. So there's a little bit of damage going out on Francis, but overall, decent take by Quick.
They managed to get an okay amount of damage on that hit, regardless. And survivors are now very aggressively pushing out. They're going to need to be careful because if they elect to go over the dumpster, then they will spawn the tank with the horde up, which is definitely not what they want. So I expect that they're going to go over to this platform in front of the dumpster and wait out the next hit and the rest of the horde. Looks like this will be the last of the horde for this event, and now the SI are going to have one hit leading up to this tank fight. Prepped for the spawn. Trying to get some last minute damage onto the survivors before the tank fight. Looks like the survivors are going back for ammo, which is probably a good call because they realize, okay, the SI are not hitting before this ladder. We can just take our time, get what we need to get, and be ready for this tank fight in full force.
Something very creative by grabbing that shotgun and allowing them to have what I believe to be like 3 shotguns and grabbing ammo off of the shotgun for their Uzis. I've not seen that personally.
Oh, yeah, clever. Oh, this could be a death charge.
Oh, what a clear by Josie on that charger. That was so close.
Very nicely set up by the hunter there. They did everything pretty much perfectly. I think maybe if the charger had spawned 1 second later, they would have had it, but that's something you can't predict. You're going in with your hit. Obviously, you're going to spawn in with them, otherwise it's kind of... So, very nice attempt there by the SI, just barely getting cleared by Josie on that charger, saving him from the death charge. That was very close, but I like to see that they're getting close to these attempts, and they're managing to land their SI in these crucial spots. BB Jam saying I go, so he go, and he commit tank. And I'm ready to see the support try to get something for him. Tank rolling in here, looking for the corner. Looks is kind of tunneled down onto Lewis. He's gonna maybe find him around this corner. He does get the punch, but he gets punched really far away. SI needs to go in right around now, or else Tank's gonna get absolutely shredded to death. Nice punch there landing onto Zoe. That's going to be a ledge cap landing onto Zoe. Not quite the death punch that they might have been looking for. Rock landing onto Francis there. This has been pretty good damage so far, and BB Jam is going to get out. I'm so far liking this tank fight, honestly. Really nice skeet landing there by Seyoung onto Lucky Lock. But yeah, the rest of the support landed. That's another rock landing onto Bill. I'm liking this tank so far from BB Jam. It's got really great damage spread.
Oh, definitely. You saw that double punch going out, and then that ledge hang on Zoe, so she's going to take a little bit more chip damage just from being ledged. So, they played this well. Squirt, didn't land very much, but BB Jam was able to capitalize it off of it nonetheless. Now he's able to play a decent rock tank here. And we do see that Jockey going in, getting shut down, Boomer and Hunter as well. No more rocks seem to be landing. Survivors are now starting to push because they know the tank is low. BB Jam's looking for any more rocks that he can maybe get, but the survivors are saying, no ma'am, I'm not going to eat any more rocks. Josie's on it this time. And they are going to be pushing forward now, leaving this tank in the back.
Yeah, the tank is on first pass too, so I think it would be mostly beneficial for the tank to just die here, because now the tank's going to take 20 more seconds before it can get another spawn. With the amount of rage that has left, and the survivors are just pushing through. They know that as long as this tank is alive, there will be no spitter. So they're just kind of pushing forward here, knowing that the amount of damage potential that they have here is not as great, but actually they get an amazing separation jockey. Their charger landed in there as well, and that tank actually managed to get in there and get another punch. Tank with less than 1,000 HP managed to actually walk in all the way down that hallway and get more damage onto them. So overall, pretty solid SI play by Team Youngbloods there with that tank fight.
And we saw it at the end there that managers just bleed out a little bit more from them. Just get a little bit more, and sometimes that's what it takes. It's just that little bit more. Allowing that, it can get a little momentum for your team. You can feel good about it, and you can get more damage and take away that bonus. And we do see that hunt landing on Lewis. Spit unfortunately missed. We do see a pull going out on Lewis for just a second, and some scratches and a Triboom going out. So overall, a pretty good hit for that area by Team Youngbloods.
Yeah, pretty decent, but the Spit I think missed and it hit something in the doorway. I'm not sure exactly what, but wasn't able to land on top of the hunter. And BB Jam with the call out onto Lucky Lock Spitter in chat. Just, you could man, you could have kept that. But we do have a last ditch hit coming in here. This is actually a really solid hit in here. Double boom landing onto the survivors as well as a double cap. This is a ton of damage onto Thuglab, who is the damage bonus. The damage bonus, I'm just watching it tick down from like 70+% all the way down to 47%. That was an amazing last hit there. I thought that they were just cleanly inside the safe room after the hit they took in the doorway, but they managed to just really capitalize on that last amount of horde there and got it on top of them, and that's some big damage. Damn.
Trademark. We saw Quickclean, run in there, and I don't think they were really prepared for that hit. We saw that Tribune land, we saw that double charge land, we saw that separation jockey. Hunter was covering it very well. That was very, very coordinated SI, and I just don't think Quickclean was expecting it. And when you're, you have your guard down, that's when the most of the damage comes out. So they did a very, very good job of capitalizing on that very last hit, taking down some of that bonus, and making sure that they're able to, mitigate the lead that Quickclean has a little bit. We do have.
Maybe they got slightly overconfident going into the safe room. I think this is something that certain teams can fall victim to. Is if you're a little bit too confident about your SI shutdowns going into an area, or you're expecting that you're going to be faster than you are, then sometimes you can walk into a hit and not be quite ready for it. And so very nicely done there. Yeah, I love the way that Team Youngbloods are playing their SI. They've really mitigated what Team Quickcleans can get off of their survivor rounds. And so far, pretty decent shutdowns going on to this hit. Charger did land there for a bit of damage. Jockey also got a bit, but there was no splitter there, unfortunately, to be able to capitalize on those SI landing.
Looking at their health, that hit didn't seem like it did a lot, but both Elusive and Lucky are both at 74 and 77 respectively. So that was a quad cap. Unfortunately, they did not have a spitter. I think that would have done a lot more damage with a spitter, but I would take that if I'm Quickclean.
Actually, that wasn't too bad after all. I was looking at it just based on how quick the clears were, and yeah, it ended up being pretty decent damage. It's going to go down on nothing into this back area. That is all the survivors now on the same, getting nice and cozy there, waiting for this hit, this bit to clear out of the way, and will be positioning themselves back down in this bottom room. I'm liking how close this game is so far. I think this is really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, survivors are not playing around. They are taking it as quick as they can, which I very much appreciate, because I have another cast to do later tonight, and I'm gonna lose my voice at some point. But we do have another hit here. It is going to be a Jockey Hunter Charger Smoker. So a quad cap going out, and a lot of damage landing on Lewis out at the front.
I guess that was all from that punch charge landing onto him. He took a lot of damage. I'm not sure exactly where it all came from. It must have just been mostly from the charger. But he will now be slow. But that's not the end of the world. You're just looking to take out the rest of this horde. And if you can go into that tank fight with nobody bleeding, then you're in pretty good position, I think.
Oh, for sure. And I think they just really stacked all their SI on Lewis. It's pretty kind of do. I mean, you do see another charger landing on him with spit on that as well. And Jockey out there, he's going to get jockeyed out. That's going to be a down on Lewis.
Yeah, I think that maybe Elusive should have backed up into the room a bit quicker, because there was nothing that landed on him before the charger. So I think that if that charger lands on you out there, then all of a sudden you're in bad shape, because they did land the spit block and then he just got jockeyed away. So yeah, but just nicely done by the SI to just see it. Oh, he's standing out in the doorway. Maybe we can capitalize off of this. And with that boom landing, they still cannot push forward just yet. They might have to take another hit in here.
I think they're going to, and they should have a spitter with this, if I'm correct. Nope, they're going to have a quad cap, actually.
No, this is where they wait, I think. This is where they wait. Potentially, maybe, jockey pre-spawning. I guess they know better than me. Go for the pull forward, that's not going to land. Charge is going to get absolutely nothing. Hunter's going to land. Actually, this is a tri-cap landing inside the room. What is happening? How does this happen? Tri-cap actually landed with a jockey, Hunter, and Smoker all in the room after the charger got shut down. And that's going to be actually just really solid damage coming out of there from that quad cap attempt in that bottom room there. So pretty solid pre-tank damage going on the survivors so far by Quickcleans.
And, they do have elusive bleeding here, so theoretically, if Quickcleans wanted to play Rock Tank, they could. They had the leader. They are looking to just do a little bit of sit block here. Hunter does get shut down while trying to go for a wall kick by Gaykit there.
Reloading.
Survivors are now pushing forward. They are going to have a Boomer and a Charger. So it looks like we do have the tank up in the hands of Yumi. They do have a Boomer, Charger, Smoker, I believe, for support. Tank just kind of throwing a rock in there, trying to see if he can land anything, but it's not look like he's getting much.
Yeah, I think the Boomer is going to look for some kind of boom here in the next couple of... if the boom lands, they're going to commit for sure. And they do, and the tank is committing, as I said that. They do have a Smoker. He's looking for an early pull, trying to get a ledge cap, but the Smoker is not going to miss. Smoker's now slightly missed position for the rest of the tank fight. But the tank is going to manage to get onto Bill, probably maybe securing a corner, and now Zoe's going to take the body block. It's almost a double punch landing onto the survivors. That is actually going to be Zoe almost taking the down, isn't quite able to get that. Yeah, but the tank is still sitting at about 25% HP. The rest of the SI support is trying to come in to help a bit here, but the Smoker isn't quite going to get anything. The Charger got nicely shut down, and that's overall not the worst take in the world. That was pretty good punches by Yumi there, spreading the damage between a lot of different survivors, but overall not a horrible take because they were able to get away from that Smoker. They completely shut down the Charger, and the tank didn't have a lot of support to speak of other than the one boom.
And even like with that support shutdown, we saw that tank changing targets very nicely. You know, when Gay Kid got punched away, he turned to Zoe. He was constantly turning and punching different people and just spreading that damage and making sure that they're not going to walk into this with a ton of bonus. And right now, they already have less bonus than Quickclean did. So Quickclean's in a very good position here. They do have a Spitter, Charger, Hunter, Boomer for the staircase hit. This has the possibility to do a ton of damage. If you want any setup, I imagine it's probably set up like this for the staircase. We do see that Charger set up in the back, and Youngblood are just taking this very slowly. Spitter does respawn, as does the Hunter. Hunter is going for that wall kick now. He does land on Zoe. Unfortunately, Spit can't go down on that. Charger does go in from the back and does not land, but we do see a little bit damage going out on Zoe from that Boomer stumble in the Spit.
They just lost all of their damage bonus there. They dropped from almost 300 bonus down to 130 bonus. Now all their remaining health bonus is all on Lucky Lock. So we do see Team Quickcleans expanding on their lead somewhat, but if the survivors walk into the safe room with about 100 bonus, Team Quickcleans is still only going to be in the lead by, I guess, because we did not set the score, it's probably a grand total of maybe 400 or 500 points between the two campaigns. So absolutely not out of it yet. We do have another hit going in here right now. Tri-Boom landing, Hunter getting slightly slowly cleared onto Lucky Lock, getting some more damage there. Jockey getting some scratches after getting M2'd, and Smoker's going to get a very quick pull out onto Lewis, but he self-clears himself. And this will be the survivors moving forward. Probably, I'm thinking one more hit to take before they walk into the safe room.
It might be too, because Gay Kid is slow, and if they get it down on this, that could slow them down a lot more. We do have a Boomer, Charger, Hunter, Spitter for this last hit. Decent setup for this area. We do have our survivors just slowly pushing forward, trying to make into the safe room, trying to mitigate as much damage as possible. Especially, they need to protect Francis here, as he is all their health bonus. We do have the Hunter going in on Francis, and that Spit is going to go down on that as well. Tri-Boom does go out, Charger does go in, stumbles Francis, and so much damage.
Yeah, this whole hit was Operation Protect Lucky Lock, and unfortunately he wasn't able to get the skid on the Hunter. And with the Charger coming in on top of that, and Spit as well, it just took away almost all their bonus, and they lost. I mean, granted, it was only like 80 points. It's not a, but I mean, if you're Team Youngbloods, you want every amount of points that you can get because the pressure is on them right now because they need to essentially make up in the next two maps. It looks like roughly a 500 score differential from the 300 points from this campaign, as well as the 200 or so points from their last four maps that was played on their home server. So they now need some phenomenal SI play coming out onto this next two chapters in order to give them the opportunity, because they've shown that like Team Youngbloods have now made both of the safe rooms on their away server, so they're absolutely showing that they can do it. They just need to maybe tighten up just that little tiny bit more, and then they'll be able to secure this type of win.
And this tank's 84%. It's really late in the map. There's a lot of opportunities to get a lot of damage pre-tank, and this is this is a relatively easy tank to take. You have good HP. There's a lot of hittable potential, but there's also a lot of ways that you can juke the hittables in this area. So you can see a lot come out of this tank and a lot out of this map. And we are going to have the tank in the hands of Lucky Luck, who is a very seasoned player. He's a very good tank. He could do a lot with this. We do have our first hit, though. It is going to be a Smoker Boomer Jockey. And one more thing, Charger. We do have that Boomer getting popped, and we do have a 2-cap going out in the back with the Jockey and the Smoker, but not a ton of damage coming out of that.
Yeah, maybe not a ton of damage, but pretty much they are landing their SI, even though the Boomer got shut down and the Charger missed. They're still landing most of their SI every hit, so they're coming out in full force. And if they can, that's all you can really ask for is the consistency in landing. As long as they're you start to maybe get dejected as an SI team if everything in your hit gets shut down almost every hit. But if you're landing consistently onto them, then it maintains that bit of hope. We do have a DP attempt coming in here. It's going to miss. Charger getting absolutely destroyed. Spitter now has nothing to go down on, and even if it did have anything to go down on, it goes and hits the back wall and falls through the earth. So nicely taken there by Team Quickcleans. They will have to take another hit before they're able to push forward. So I'm interested to see what the setup here is. If they do have a good setup for the alleyway, they might elect to just save it, or they might elect to attack them on the event once more.
Looks like they are just going to be sacking that Boomer, I imagine, just to try to get a Spitter or a Quad Cap, but Quickclean knows that, and they are now pushing forward.
Yeah, they realize that's one spawn down. That's as good as we're going to get. Attempt going in here. That's almost a Tri-Cap landing for a second there, but still pretty good damage. That was a slam by the Charger and a pretty decent separation pull. It was definitely the right call to hit I think it was the right call by both teams. It was the right call to sack the Boomer to try to get a Quad Cap, because he's a hunter, we do see that they would have gotten. And it was also the right call by the survivors to push through there, forcing the SI to hit with only 3 SI.
Definitely, and that was very, very quick clears going out by Quickclean. That Charger only got 1 slam and a Tri-Cap. That Jockey was quickly shut down. That Smoker was cleared. They mitigated as much damage as possible. We do have this Hunter pre-spawn in the Broom. He is going for that wall kick. Now it's just pouncing around. That Jockey, that Spitter is also spawned. We do have a Jockey and a Boomer also up for this hit. This, has some damage potential. That Hunter is now going in. Unfortunately, gets caught. We do see a 1 boom going out. Hunter is skeeted. Spit goes down for a block on Bill. Gets a little bit of damage on Bill, leading up that Jockey to try to do anything that he can alone.
And they actually get the Spitter to die last. Both support side last, so they might have potentially a Quad Cap setup for this next attack, which I believe will be the last tank attack before the tanks. It's looking good so far. Jockey, Smoker, Charger. Will they get that Hunter? And it looks like yes, they will. So this is a Quad Cap attempt, trying to maximize the damage that they get, because the survivors have taken very little pre-tank chip so far. And if you're walking into an 84% tank, you want to have somebody bleeding. You want to have some kind of damage going in on them. Quad Cap attempt going in right here. Jockey is going to get shut down. Hunter getting skeeted onto Lucky Lock by Young. Charger having nothing to land on, and Smoker getting cleared off quickly. That's about as good of a take as you can possibly hope for from a Quad Cap attempt. Very nicely done, and that's the type of survivor play that you expect from Quickcleans.
Oh, absolutely. And, we see this tank coming up in the hands of Lucky Lock. I don't think he's going to have time to cut them off. They are going to be able to push back, but he might be able to get a lucky hittable on them. Who knows? His name's Lucky Lock. He's got to be lucky, right? We do see their survivors pushing back. Pink period.
Lucky Lock had the tank last game as well, if I recall.
Yeah.
What? I can't remember. Oh yeah, you know what? He landed the rock onto Josie, and then the dumpster onto whoever ran into the dumpster. Okay, so we do have the tank set up here, but the tank did not get any hitables yet. So it looks like this is looking kind of rough. The tank did climb all the way up top before he got his hitable into play, and that dumpster is not going to land up there. Yeah, this tank is now going to have to commit without any hitables at all, because he was climbing up there first. He lost his entire grace period, which is where he needed to get his hitables into play. Tank is going to maybe go for this forklift very quickly, but he needs to get it out in maybe 2 hits, and he doesn't get it out in 1 hit. So he will have this forklift for this tank, and Bill is a wizard. I've never seen anyone standing where Bill is right now.
I have no idea how he got up there, but you know what? Godspeed to him. We do have support going in here. This Hunter is pouncing around trying to land something. Cole does go out on Francis, but he quickly clears it on his own. Tank is just now chasing Lewis, trying to get anything he can. Hunter gets quickly skeeted. That forklift does go out of play, and this is a dead tank with only one punch, I believe, to his name.
Reloading.
2 punches, but yeah, he punched the forklift out of play there at the end and wasn't able to get anything, and pretty much all support got shut down. So 2-punch tank there going out, and yeah, I think it may be lucky luck for he wanted to climb up there to see if he can get the cutoff, but there was no chance because there was no boomer or anything. There was no way for the tank to cut the survivors off there. So by the time they climbed all the way up there, he had no hittables, and he had if he wanted to get any extra hittables on top of the roof, he had to go all the way back down. At which point he only had one opportunity to punch the dumpster into play, and when that dumpster hit missed, there was all of a sudden no hope for him to get any more extra hittables into play. That is a nice suck in spit from the smoker and spitter there onto Yumi, but Survivor is currently sitting at a 939 health bonus, which is absolutely massive.
And that is an enormous bonus, and if I'm Quickcleans, I'm very happy with that. Although I would say it's a matchable bonus, because we saw how that tank went for them. It's very easy to kill that tank, so Youngbloods could do the same thing and keep it close. We do probably have one more hit, I imagine, going in here. That Boomer is going to go in, get proxied onto Bill. Hunter is going to land on Lewis for quite a bit of damage, actually. Charger is going to take him forward now, and Jockey is going to cover that with on Francis. A lot of damage going out on Lewis and Francis.
I was hoping for 2 slams, but that's a nice last-ditch effort there. They got about 150 points of damage out on to the survivors, mitigating their bonus a little bit more. This is still a very, very sizable 800-point bonus going into the putting now massive pressure on the survivor round for Team Youngbloods, because if they do not make the safe room on this chapter with at least some bonus, then all of a sudden the score delta going into map 4 is just really, really massive, and it's gonna start to maybe put it out of their reach. So that they need to match that bonus and then make a very solid map 4 as well in order to be able to have a chance at making back in this game. Very nicely done by Quickcleans, realizing, okay, this game is maybe a little bit closer than we were anticipating. We need to really settle down and get a strong chapter and just try to put it out of their reach.
Oh, definitely. And, Youngbloods are proving that, they might be 13 seed, but they're not to be messed with. They are putting the number 2 seed on their toes. So, I commend them completely. But we do see a double charge and a tri-boom going out on that. Quickly shut down. Cole just go out on Francis for just a bit of damage. But, even with the triple boom and a double charge, they did not take a lot of damage off that. They shut down everything well. They made sure that they're not going to take that much damage, even in a dire situation like that. So, great job to Youngbloods on that.
Yeah. Nice boom there landing, but unfortunately wasn't able to quite get too much out of that because the survivor was just in such a strong position. Also, due to the fact that there was no spitter. If that spitter was up to be able to land on top of the charge, it would have done a lot of damage. Looks like the survivors are realizing that the hit is up for the transition, so they're going to take a hit here on top of the scaffolding before they move over to the usual spot, which I think could be potentially smart depending on how well they take this hit. Hunter's going to actually land there. Charger is going to try to get on top of that. It's going to take him a bit further into that spit, so that's pretty sizable damage out onto Gate Kid. But overall, not as bad as it could have been. I think it was a decent awareness by the survivors saying, okay, the hit is up for the transition over to where you take the event. If we go now, we're just going to get separated and destroyed. So let's take our time, take a hit here. And while they took about 30 damage out on the Gate Kid, it's not the end of the world, and they're still in good shape.
Oh, definitely. And, that was a very, very nice clear on that Charger. Even though it ran back into spit, he did not get 10 points of damage from landing the charge itself, and he didn't get up animation. So they mitigated the damage there as well as they could. We do have our hit going in here, though. Charger is going to go in and land on Lewis for just a second. Hunter is going to land on Francis, and Bill is going to get pulled in the back for a little bit of damage. But again, very good shutdowns by Young.
Yeah, nothing got entirely shut down there, but the clears were quick enough where it took away pretty much any damage potential. So, again, exactly like the last hit, they sacked the team quickly and sacked the boomer, looking for the quad cap setup in the alleyways. And so they were saying, yep, we're not even going to risk trying to fight a quad cap in the alley. We're going to run. And managed to only come out of that alleyway with about 10 extra points of damage. So they are currently rolling, and they're sitting in good shape. If they're trying to ace this tank fight and currently sitting at the amount of health that they would give them the ability to do so. So we do have a charge spit here in the waiting, trying to stop them up from running into this tank with all his health.
they are only sitting at 200 bonus behind what Quickcleans made. And if they can ace this tank and make it with that, that is a great start to this comeback. But we do see that Charger going out, not manage to land anything. Bill does get hunted for quite a bit of damage. Spit does not go down on it, though. We do see a 2-boom going out as well. So a little bit of a slow clear on that Hunter, but it is what it is. They're still in a good position. They might be able to get the tank up off of this. They can clear the Horde well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of sketchy, I think, spawning the tank now, because there's going to 100% be a hit up for the... They do have a Spitter, Jockey, and Smoker up in the rotation right now to be ready for the run back hit. You might be able to stop them from getting the run back hit. They're actually going to elect to send in all 4 SI. This is a nice Jockey separation going out onto Bill for even more damage to him. Charger landed in the front for a little bit. Smoker does miss, but that's some pretty solid extra ship damage. That was about almost 100 points taken off of their bonus again. Now Bill is forced to pop pills, so the survivors will be able to get their run back here if they go very, very fast. And tank is actually smart play by the tank going forward and then dropping off, is looking for the cutoff, but he's not going to get it. The survivors are back in position. Josie needs to go for his extra hittables right now if he's going to want any chance at it.
Looks like we do have a 2-boom going up there. That's a very nice 2-boom going out by Sayang, and we do have Josie going for that forklift now. Gonna see if he can get it in. He's giving it one punch. He's gonna now rocket to try to get in a better position to hit it in, but unfortunately it's not in that good of a position. And so he is positioned to try to get some chip on him if he goes for it again. He throws another rock at it, but still not great. And they do have a Smoker, Hunter, Jockey in the rotation for support. That's not bad support. Zoe is now backed up, so Josie does have a free hit to try to get this forklift out there. He is able to get it out there, and looks like he is going to start hitting it in. He's in a pretty good position. Survivors are now just chipping him as he runs in. Looks like Smoker is going for an early pull. Does not land it. Bill stays very safe inside that fencing, not getting hittable here. But he does have the corner on Bill now. Joey gets a nice M2 on the Jockey, but Bill is going to get cornered and go down from that. So he does get pulled over there. They're not really able to clear. It looks like Jockey is going to take that. He is going to get the corner on Francis and the down on Francis. That's going to be 3 downs and maybe a wipe if he's able to get this wipe on Lewis.
Yeah, this is just what started out looking like a potentially really good tank take by Team Youngblood. Has kind of turned into a bit of a disaster. Smoker's trying to go in there to end the chapter, but it's going to miss. But this is still potentially a web coming out if this Jockey lands or this Charger lands onto Bill. Rock landing onto Bill again. This is going to be Charger slightly missing, but this Blake has been a massive amount of damage. The hittable didn't even really come to play other than the fact that it stopped the survivors from moving in certain directions. No boom landing during that tank either, but really nicely done there by Josie. Was able to get the corner out onto Bill pretty early on. By the time that first down went out, he still had about 50% HP. And then the Smoker separation got out onto Lucky Lock, and Jockey said, okay, I'm going to get M2 to shut down by any of the other survivors, so I'm just going to take Lucky Lock into the Netherlands. And they managed to just get so much separation and damage out on the survivors while the tank still had so much health left. And this has really, really put the Youngbloods in a pretty bad position here. They now have only 30 bonus left, meaning that even if they make it into the safe room with this amount of health, then they're going to be sitting at a deficit of probably around 1,400 points or so going into map 4 that they'll have to make up in one map, which is basically impossible. So really nicely done there by Team Quickcleans on that tank fight.
Oh, I mean, they have no bonus right now. The best they can get is 155 more points from this distance on this map, and like you said, hopefully make up 1,400 bonus on map 4, which is a tall order. I'm not even sure that's possible.
The map distance for map 4 is 500, meaning that the maximum score for the chapter is 500, not including, meaning that they need, if they are trying to make up, okay, let's see, they're currently down by 1,200 points in this map, plus the 200 points, so they're currently down by about 1,400 points, make that maybe 1,300 points going to the safe room, meaning that they need to keep Team Quickcleans from making 200 points, which they can do with an early tank, and then make it in with 100% bonus, which is mathematically possible, but statistically that's never happened in the history of Left 4 Dead 2, especially with an early safe room tank like this. So yeah, Team Quickleans almost putting the seal on this game, but I mean, with a hope and a prayer, you know, Team Youngbloods is technically not out of it if they put up the strongest fight in history.
So this tournament's already broken records. We saw Team 5MO week 1 make 7,000 points. So, like, anything can happen. It's Left 4 Dead 2. Who knows? Maybe they're going to do it. Like you said, like, it's probably not going to happen, but I would love to see it happen if it does. And even if they don't do it, Youngbloods have proven that they're not a team to be messed with, that they have the traps to do this, to hold their own against some really, really strong teams and some really, really old players, and that they're contenders in this tournament. So if I'm Youngbloods, I'm happy with how this is played out.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like when you're playing a team with 11 seeds of difference between them, you know, like you're going up against the clear favorites, and when you can put on this good of a show, I think, and demonstrate, okay, you know, or there's nothing really to complain about with their play. Like maybe a couple of tiny misplays and a couple of shutdowns that would have made a big difference. But I don't. Looking at their gameplay, there hasn't been any glaring problems that I could have seen. There was overall really solid SLA coordination and survivor gameplay on both home and away servers. So they've done a really good job, and if they can maintain this kind of play for the rest of the tournament, I would absolutely expect them to make the top 16 bracket and potentially make a bit of a run. Definitely showing that they have the potential to make upsets in this tournament. So if you're one of a higher seeded team saying, "Oh, we're up against seed number 13, easy win," clearly not. They've had to. Team Quickleans have had to work for this, and as they continue to try to work for this, very amazing shutdown going out onto all 4 SI there, and so big tank coming up here for Team Youngbloods in the hands of Elusive, who had this tank last campaign as well, and came out strong with the multi punches. So must wipe tank if they want any mathematical shot at winning this game here.
And, you know, we do see this boomer going out, not able to land anything. Elus is going to have to put in a lot of work. He's going to have to make sure that this tank wipes. They're going to need incredibly solid support. They're going to need to make sure that he lands his doubles. Like, he has to throw everything and the kitchen sink that he can at these survivors just to make sure that they wipe. And if he can wipe it, then that opens them up to a miracle of taking the lead on this if they make a very, very good bonus. So they aren't out of it, but they do have a smoker that they are probably going to have to commit with. I don't think they have time to sack this. It's not the ideal SI for this. I mean, it's workable, but I think they'd really rather prefer a jockey. Looks like this tank is now starting to go in. He's popping around, trying to avoid as much chip as possible while he gets in. Hunter and Charger are both spawned in. Tank's now pushing in, does get the initial punch on Bill. He does go up, get a punch on Francis, and he's getting some decent punches. Where's the support?
Where's the support? Tank, when they had, the support was just late. I mean, every single survivor was 5 punch. They had to remember there, so that even if he had a corner and he secured the corner, it would have taken very long to get that one in cap onto any. The SI were all pre-spawn, and so they should have realized, okay, it's gonna take us two or 3 seconds to get into the safe room from where we're all pre-spawned. And 2 or 3 seconds can mean a lot when you have 4 survivors remaining on the tank. And so I think they had to go in to help out the tank when he was maybe at 50% health, because then by the time that they get in the safe room, tank maybe has 2,000 health left or so to try to work with. But I think they came in just a little bit late there, and by the time that they were able to get into the safe room at all, tank had maybe 300 health left and just weren't able to do anything with it. So very nicely taken there by Team Quickleans. That will put the seal on this game from a mathematical perspective, and we will see them play it out, just try to get as strong of a score for that screenshot that they post in the results thread, I guess.
You know, having a high score is a good bragging, right? Everybody sees it and they get scared of you. And again, like, Youngbloods have played really, really well. They were outclassed, sure, but they're playing against a pretty tough team, so they have proven that they're not a team to be messed with. And we do see this absolutely incredible tri-cap going out here with the Smoker and Charger all landing with that move. That's a lot of damage going out. They may have lost mathematically, but they are saying we're not done yet.
Yeah, they're still coming out with strong SI play. why, when you're playing against such a strong team that, you know, I don't see this team scrimming super often either. It's like, why waste the opportunity to play against a top caliber team and get really, really good team practice? And let's just keep playing, giving our all for the rest of this and play this out solidly. And they're showing, yeah, there was a really nice strike up landing on that last hit.
They are have a Jockey Smoker Hunter Spitter for this possibly last hit if things don't go super well for it. We do have that Hunter going in, trying to land on something. Spit goes to go on Bill, and he sits in it for a little bit. Hunter is nicely skeeted by Young, and that Smoker also got shut down, but, you know, that free Spit did a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, it was okay chip damage going on to Survivors, but it's a little too late. I think Survivors are rolling into the safe room. Maybe 1 or 2 SI maybe to stop them a little bit, but they're going in here. It's going to be very, very close.
I'm reloading.
Survivors, I guess, taking their time. Like, maybe they want to take one more hit before they roll into the safe room. Very nice pop going out there in 0.4 seconds. Another great skeet going out there onto Gay Kid, and then Treasure getting absolutely nothing. That will be the Survivors rolling into the safe room with a 560-point health bonus for map 4, and in a map where they only needed 200 points to secure the win. They've done a lot more than that, giving their campaigns total for their home server up to 4,012 points, with an average of over 1,000 points per chapter. So definitely very, very strong Survivor play, as we would have expected from Team Quickcleans.
Oh, definitely. And, you know, Youngbloods at this point are just playing for keeps. They're just doing what they can. We see that Smoker going in, not able to do anything. Jockey is nicely shut down. Charger, I think, missed his spawn there, but he does get one at the front. It is melted as soon as it goes in. Spit goes down on nothing, just to get 8 damage in free Spit, but we do see the last tank of the game up in the hands.
I love their
pushing.
They're doing a death push on the tank. Kerbrot going in, going to land up the bill. Survivors know that they're out of it. They want to put on a show for this last tank fight, and they're going to get tri-boomed, and this is probably going to be really bad. Survivors are now realizing, okay, we want it to be really flashy, and we've now paid the price for it. We have now tri-boomed, and we're now double stumbled with this tank committing here. This is going to be a free corner out onto one Survivor, getting the punch out onto Lewis. Tank is now alone. He's only got a Jockey in the rotation to try to help out with this, but his horde is pouring in here. Tank still has 37% health. Jockey separation going out on to Francis, which gets cleared off. That will be a down on to Lewis. Tank tries to go for a juke onto the Survivors, climbing up and then dropping back down. Smoker does not land onto Zoe. That's going to be a dead tank. So what looked like it was about to be a disaster for the Survivors turned into only a 1 down tank, which is not the worst in the world. But yeah, Survivors, I think they got a bit of a reality check at the end there. They were like, you know what? We know we're out of this. Let's just do a death push on the tank and play super, super aggressive. And then they got tri-boom. They were like, nope, nope, nope. We do not want to get wiped on this. We want to at least make save room. So nice recovery by them.
Yeah, that was a fantastic recovery. They really focused the SI they needed to focus. They cleared horde, they shot tank, they did what they needed to do. So great job by Youngbloods there. We do see a walk it going out on Bill, a Spit going under that, and a Boomer stumble in that Spit. So that was quite a bit of damage onto Gay Kid. That Jockey, unfortunately, came up too late to get a spawn. It looks like the Survivors are just going to be pushing this event. No need to hold it out one thing.
Exactly. So yeah, Survivors are just going to probably just be pushing through the rest. I will be happy to see if they make the safe room, because then that will put them up to making every safe room except for one in this whole game, which is very impressive for playing on an away server against a team like Quickcleans. So yeah, very nicely done by Team Youngbloods. Honestly, I definitely was very happy to see their play, and you know, kept it super close in the whole game, regardless of if it was home or away. As what you like, you don't want ping to be a big deciding factor in this game, and I don't think it was. I think it was just certain moments of coordination on Survivor or SI just made the difference between the two teams.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, this, I think a lot of us expected Quickly to take this, which is fair. They're the number 2 seed, and they did. So very much props to them. They are proving why they're such a well-renowned team. I think they have a really good shot at taking it all at the end, and it just depends how they play out the rest of these games. So fantastic job to both teams. Looks like the GGs are going out. They're shooting each other just for a little bit of fun, just for, you know, just to mess with each other a little bit. And with that, we will have our final score with Quickclean taking the win.
We gotta get you some first aid.
This will be a win for Team Quickcleans, moving up to the 2-0 category for the Team Youngbloods. Unfortunately, dropping to a 1-1 record. However, it keeps them very, very much in the playoff contention for the 6 rounds, and showing that, okay, all you teams that are seeded that are going to be with a 1-1 record, you better be ready for us next round, because for Dead Center, we're going to come out absolutely strong. And all you teams up in the 2-0 category, you better watch out, because we're coming for you. And clearly, we have the chops to be able to take this W from you and make an upset happen. So I'm really excited to see how they play out for the rest of the tournament.
I am too. I think both of these teams are obviously very solid teams. This was a fantastic game to watch and a fantastic game to cast. Thank you so much, K3, for casting with me. Thank you, sir, for streaming it. I do know that there is a game in an hour, and I don't know exactly who's streaming that. And I know there is also a game at 8, and I don't know who's streaming that either. But they will be announced in the Discord and in the Steam group. So if you want to check those out, feel free to. K3, do you have any parting words for our viewers?
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. It's so awesome to see, in every single match that I've seen, regardless of what time. I've seen matches like at 5 a.m., at 12 p.m., at, like 11 a.m., whatever it is, right? And consistently seeing 120 to 160 viewers on every match. So it's great to see people coming out and supporting and watching these matches, and supporting the casting and the streaming of all these matches. I haven't seen this kind of viewership since the ages of like Watch L4D, which is really awesome. Yeah, tune into ctopug.com. They have a list of the active Left 4 Dead 2 competitive streams there at all times. So if you're potentially wondering if there's any matches going on, there is a Google document, I believe, that gets posted sometimes with different match times. Stay posted with the Quarantine Cup 2020 Steam group for when there might be matches posted that you might want to watch. And thanks so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you in a few hours for the next matches to be played today, and hopefully for the matches tomorrow as well.